I'm finally here, people. I'm finally here. Sorry to be a little bit late. That was pretty much on me this time. And actually, you know what? Fuck it. It's on Daps as well. Always gonna have to share the blame. I'm never the blame. But massive day of football today. Man United win 1-0. Not in convincing fashion, but the only thing that was convincing was that clean sheet. We also had Haaland Hatrick. No one expected it. 2-0 up and whatnot. I can actually admit, I think Daps can even say there's no chance we're coming back. No, I see on the chat he was coming back. And then Ty was saying, no, you're being negative like me. I'm like that too. Don't worry. You're going to get a goal and you're going to get another one. And then you got the cherries getting eaten up. Maybe they should change the name to the strawberries instead. Maybe they'll have a little bit about them rather than getting absolutely rolled over 9-0 by Liverpool. Respectively so, big up Liverpool on that part. I can actually big them up because 9-0 is not easy to do. Regardless of what club you are, 9-0 don't come about too much unless you're in the Bundesliga. But they really made them look like a farmers league today, like with like Firmino. Wow, can this be his revival? I don't know. I get it. The whole talk of it is a bit like it's only Bournemouth, but I'm sorry. Like Man City rolled them over for 4-0. Bournemouth gave a good game to Aston Villa and so forth. It's fair game. It's fair game at the end of the day to me. So big up for Liverpool and smashing them because that just tells me that they should just get hooked back down to the Championship, fella. And then also on top of that, Arsenal's come back at arse. That broke my heart. Gabriel's bozo jeans. And then he made up for it. Do you get what I mean? It's been a good weekend for everyone. So now we're all against Tottenham. But yeah, man, you know, I've got a few guests. Make sure you're liking the video, making sure you subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification bell and check the people's channels below. You might have a guest who's in the actual show today. You got Jamie Phillips, Goonally, and you got Ladimus Prime. I'm sure he has a few things to say about to Caliban. So, anyways, long story ado, running the intro. Peace. Yeah, man. You know what? Today was a good day of football. But I'm going to have to go through the chat. Let me know how you found the game. There's 37 people already in here. Make sure you go on the tweet. If you got a tweet out, make sure you go in there for us. And if you don't mind retweeting it on a Never a Foul Twitter account, there's a lot of you in there. If you follow Never a Foul, it would be very much appreciated. You could bring us to another subscriber. But big up Gunnar Vettel in the building saying Haaland and Odegaard, man. When I tell you Odegaard, yeah, I think I'm starting to come around a little bit. Not only is he applying goals, but he's actually shooting now. So this I was quite wrong about him at the moment. Maybe it's a reach because it's only 4 games in, but no, he's looking like the business. I must say, the cherries got eaten alive. Yeah, big up Yusuf in the building, Daniel as well, Bailey as well. Smash a like. Make sure you're liking the video nice and early. 37 likes already. Can we get this up to 50? Big up Zane saying, I hope now some people in our fan base can move on from Mane because Luis Diaz put in a similar-esque performance. But yeah, then they can say, can he do it against the bigger lot? Obviously, I don't know. He might be. I'm sure Jamie can touch up a lot on that in a second as well. He's looking nice. I'm liking his background. No green screen today, but it's got a little bit going on. Actually, that's quite new. Yeah, he's got a bit of a tan as well. I think he's got a bit of a tan or a haircut. He's looking sharp. Big up Sid in the building. Austin as well. Love to see it. Blake's football. Me, big up you. Fraser in the building. And so many other, obviously, Emad as well. Rory, Chelsea, Clueless, big up, man. But yeah, long story short, gonna get it in right now. Gonna have to bring in my co-host first. He's obviously repping Man City. I'm sure he had a ticket to go to the game, but you know, priorities. I'm not too sure. I don't know. I'm sure he really did enjoy that. So you know what? Nothing is better than a proper comeback. I'm telling you now, that's an unreal feeling. It's that or a last-minute winning goal in like the 89th minute or 90th minute. And obviously, sensational times. Bringing in this guy, sensational dude. You already know who he is. Man like Daps with his new background.
Bro, new background, new lounge, new studio. It's the lounge.
No, that's the secret. It's a green screen.
I've never known you so excited. You're like a little kid starting this show. You started the show off without even telling me. You just decided to kick me out, right? Blame me when I've been here. Tweet is out, Cass. Instagram post is out, Cass. Everything is done, Cass. Is the Discord done, Cass?
Yes, everything's done, Cass.
Okay, good. But yeah, as for comebacks, listen, I know all about comebacks. It's what we do. I didn't have a ticket to this game because I've been away in Barcelona. I knew I had to spend some time with my daughter, so I'm up there Wednesday.
Oh yeah, fair. Yeah, true.
The Forest game, but I always planned on missing this one. To be fair, wish I didn't now. Wish I didn't, but yeah, what a weekend, man. I mean, we spoke on it this morning, and
yeah. You know what?
It
was mad because is that what Steve said yesterday? Who was it? It was someone in the what's it called? The calling show. And we were saying, and you're getting a bit nervous when we were talking about the stats, and Steve was getting a little bit nervous about the game. Obviously, Pep was probably thinking about this game as well, going 2-0 down. I do wonder what was said in that half-time dressing room. I really do.
Listen, first half, possession was great as usual. Do you know what? Let's get the rest in. We're going to talk on it later, but we can talk on it later. But yeah, I mean, what a day of football, man! What a day of football.
100%. By the way, as we go along, I am putting in timestamps. People, if you're here, you're watching this, I'll be putting in timestamps going along.
The Daps intro. Daps intro.
Nice.
Okay. People smash a like. I don't know how many of you are in here, but I reckon there's
55,
about
41 likes. Yeah.
So we need 60 likes. It's free. We love it. We love all of you. Mods, keep pushing the likes, and let's go.
Yeah, man. And make sure you have a taste of the new dairy milk, which is in India in Sid's bedroom, if you ain't seen it yet. No. But yeah, next person in, gonna bring him in, supporting Liverpool. He's probably gonna talk us through every single goal. I'm pretty sure, because I haven't actually watched the highlights, because I actually want to watch a little bit of Match of the Day in the background while I'm doing this, and I can see it and whatnot. But just to actually get a bit of a feeling, just imagination. The only thing I did see was that Salah miss that was all over Twitter earlier. But big up this guy. He's over 2,000 subscribers now. I think he's on his way to 2,500, I believe now. He's just check out his channel below in the description. He's been on there a few times now. Big up, Jamie.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the great introduction. I appreciate it.
It's mint. What happened to the green screen?
My room is so dark. The amount of lights I need to have it on to light it up was burning my face. Yeah, it had to go.
You in a closet?
No, it's just I've got. It's like a box room, but it's like the darkest room in the bloody house, ain't it? So, yeah.
Fair enough.
Thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it. Love being
here. Coming on.
Have you been anyways, in general?
Yeah, everything's okay. Obviously, I think everyone knows about my daughter in hospital and all that, but
I didn't know about that.
Oh yeah, she's having neck fusion surgery. So her head is there, fused there, so it is to her shoulder. At the moment, she's got a tension machine on, so she's got 14 kilos of tension weight on the back of her head.
Damn,
and
man.
14 kilos, 5. And she's got 14 kilos on her legs as well. And her head is perfectly straight at the moment for the first time in her life. She has to be like that for 3 weeks. And then they go fuse her spine and her neck to the base of to the back of her skull, all the way down.
Well, listen, man. Everyone say a prayer for Jamie's daughter tonight. And I thank you even more for coming on, bro.
I can't
imagine what that's like to see your daughter like that, honestly, with my daughter being sick. So thanks for coming on.
Welcome.
Thoughts with you, bro.
Welcome.
Yeah, man. Next person do as well. Big up anyone that actually just arrived. Just make sure you're smashing that like. Guy supports Chelsea. He's actually to be fair, he's got some absolute deluded opinions, but at the same time, he's got some absolute mint opinions about Chelsea because he's realistic. He's realistic. That's the difference with this one. And he's been on here a few times. You know what? He's got the same name as the KSI Logan Paul drink, Ladimus Prime.
Oh, there you go.
A dig and a compliment. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you support Chelsea.
Yeah, nice. Thank you guys for having me on. Jamie, I hope your daughter makes a speedy recovery.
Cheers, my friend. Thank you.
How you been anyway, Ladimus? Did you enjoy the performance today, or you still not impressed?
Listen, we won. We won. That I'm happy about.
That's all that matters.
Let me not speak on the other stuff, or else I'll be
Oh, bless, man. Yeah, man. Maybe next week you might lose. Anyways. And the last person, you'll know him. He's on an Arsenal show with us pretty much every week, which has just started, which will be there tomorrow. He's part of AFTV gang. He's got his own channels in the description below as well. He rattles a few people here and there, including myself. But yeah, man, it's just all smiles all around. I really can't wait for the smile to be off his face. But big up Guna Lee in the building, man.
Yo, what's going on, man? I'm literally doing this on my phone right now. Like I'm just at my mum's, man. I was at the game, innit, so I'm struggling, bro. I ain't got my laptop on me right now, but I'm happy, bro. I'm happy.
Maybe see your camera, like your phone. Do it like this.
Yeah. I'll do it like that. Is that better?
I mean,
No.
this is where you get to test if someone has their phone on lock or not.
Nah, it's on lock. It is on lock. Well, hold on. Is it?
There
Hey, there we go.
I've got you, man. Look, I'm here, man. Look, no one's getting me down today, man. I'm happy, bro. Listen, my team's doing.
You
good.
are happy. Are you even? That's not going to come off your face all show, innit? How are you feeling about the comeback, anyways, man? It must be quite a surreal feeling because we all talked about obviously like as a mentality change at Spurs, but now you have to put it towards Arsenal as well, like because you don't really see Arsenal come back in the last minute to get a goal. I saw one person predict that, and that was KJ earlier when they went 1-0 down. They said, "Don't worry, this is nothing."
Yeah, no, man. Like as I said, for me, it's. I mean, I'm going to take the term that the Liverpool fans have got. Like, we're moving into mentality monsters at this moment in time. Like, if it was last season, we would have lost that game. And look what we're doing now. Like, you can't count the chickens, man. Look, Crystal Palace took you to what, the 80th minute with that game, and look what we did. Again.
Hold on, have you got a book where you get these from, Lee?
Listen, man, I'm being honest, man. Like, as I said, at the end of the day,
you did just say Crispy Palace, didn't you?
No, Crystal Palace.
Oh, right. You know what it is, yeah? You always come out with these sayings like mad quickly, yeah? Like, what is it? What is it? Noodles. Say the Nunes one.
It's Punes, man. It's Punes, bro.
No, it's not that one. There's another one you say that.
Oh, yeah, noodles. No, noodles. It is noodles. It's noodles.
No, Ten Haha, right? You come out with so Ten Haha, right? Cracks me up when you say that. And I thought I've just come up with one. Crispy Palace. There we go.
Oh, man, listen, I'm happy, man. Like as I said, look, Crystal Palace, they went away to the likes of Liverpool and they drew 1-1, man. So look, there's no. Do you know what? I have to be honest though. There's no easy game in the Premier League. Like whether it's Man United, whether it's Fulham, whether it's do you know what? I'm gonna keep saying it. Whether it's Bournemouth, because teams are spending money, man, and teams are a lot better. The quality's better. So any game you win, you have to celebrate, man. And you know what? It's annoying me because I've seen online. I don't know if you remember Andy Gray and Richard Keys. You know they do that BN Sports.
Yeah.
And you just see them like saying how Arsenal are over celebrating this win, and I'm like, what?
Living in the past, maybe a little bit.
Are we not allowed to celebrate a win? Like, what is going on with these people, man? Like,
no, it could be worse. It could be worse. You could have been at Arsenal when it was a 2-2 draw against West Brom. If you remember that, that's how far you've come. Do you remember that one? It's like celebrating a draw.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. It's
yeah, I know. It's like Dan James when he equalised against Palace as well.
You know what? I
shot off and everything.
Palace have played.
Embarrassing.
So we've played Palace. Liverpool have played Palace. Arsenal have played Palace.
I don't want to play Palace.
No, but Palace is a hard game, bro. Like, I'm sorry, yeah. I know it. We know it for seasons and seasons and seasons. Arsenal know it from last season. Liverpool now know it. Palace is a difficult game. There's a good one to get out the way early doors. Spot on. I think with this whole, Mourinho said it, right? And we'll get into everyone's team in a minute, but I think it's a good point you said about there's no easy game in the Premier League. I remember when Mourinho said that when he used to manage Real Madrid, if they knew they had a difficult Champions League game, unless they were playing Barcelona, Atletico, then they could kind of rest players because generally they knew they could get it. He said, whereas in the Premier League, there's none of that. It doesn't matter who you play. It doesn't matter who you play. If you underestimate anyone. Now, I don't think Ten Hag did that, but I do think maybe those first two games for Man United made Ten Hag realise, do you know what? Because I think he looked at the squad, looked at the two teams in Brighton and Brentford and thought, I'm not saying we're going to bowl them over, but with this squad, we should be able to beat them, no problem. And I think those two games maybe made him realise, do you know what? Maybe, and this is why I think they went for Carvalho, because I think that he looked at it and thought, do you know what? A ball playing six maybe isn't what we need. Maybe we do need a bit more.
Daps, do you know what I was just going to ask though? Do you think that the person that's probably earning £350,000 just turn up this season now because he seems to be on the bench, or I don't know,
straight in there out of nowhere, just straight in there.
Do you think that if it was like an Aubameyang or if it was a Haaland or if it was someone else, do you think they'll get the flack, or do you think Salah should start playing football now? I don't know.
I wait, hold fire there because
we'll get into that. We'll get into that.
You stole my line. You stole my line. Don't stop doing this
with the oil money. They come for Chelsea with the new owners and the Yankees, and they come for Arsenal spending money on Özil. And now I want to hear what people are still talking about this fake Egyptian guy. I don't know, man. I think El Neni is the real king of Egypt right now.
I mean, the one thing is right now you'll have everyone that's a Liverpool fan in the comments. in the live chat going at you, and then you'll have everyone that
Yeah.
does fantasy football pretty much probably backing you because we're all pissed off because probably every single one of us thought, yeah, Bournemouth are going to get smoked today. Let's make Salah captain. And how Liverpool score 9 goals. We might as well start on Liverpool as well, Cass, but how Liverpool score 9 goals and Salah does not even get a damn assist. Nothing.
On a six rating on SofaScore as well. 6 rating on SofaScore.
Jamie, you can tell us about how good your team was today. But firstly, let's start on because it is a talking point. On Salah, was he bad or
well, actually, to be fair, Simon says, big up with the super chat, says 9-0, shut your face, you can talk best team, by the way, with exclamation mark. Big up Simon in the building
I think that
there,
was
man.
To you, Lee, by the way, that wasn't to me, okay? I've thrown no slander towards Liverpool, I promise you.
No, to be fair, it was before Lee's what he said.
I don't even care. You're not the best team. You're not top of the league right now, so you can't talk to me about that. So move on to the next thing.
All right, we might as well start on the Liverpool game, though, man.
Yeah,
Jamie, cracking.
Yeah,
with Salah.
Yeah,
like. Was he bad or did he just ultimately not? Because I will be honest, yeah. Sometimes you can be the pass before the pass, and you can be the wizard. But tell me, what was Salah involved, or was it just not his day?
Well, he missed 2 clear chances today. The first one he missed, he actually took it with his right foot, and if he scored it, it would have been a heck of a goal because the build-up play towards that was tremendous, and that miss was okay, fair enough. You move on. But then he had a chance to make it 10, and Fabinho put a lovely ball into him over the back 4. Lovely pass by Fabinho. Salah's first touch was fine, and then he just put it over the crossbar, and then he just started laughing about it. Now, I said on my reactions after my video after it, I said I'm all fine with it because we won 9-0, so it's not a problem. But what's going to become a problem later in the season is that we just gave Mo 350 grand a week, and the agendas will start coming up that he needs to start bagging the goals like he used to. Now he's got the money that he's been crying for. Now, that was my opinion on it. I didn't go too much into it because we just won 9-0, so I didn't want to be too negative on something. So, but that's all it is at the moment with Mo. It will start to annoy people and start to annoy fans if he just keeps laughing it off every time he misses, when we just gave him this bumper new contract that he demanded so much. So I'm always worried when players get massive contracts because, your hunger is there to get that big contract, ain't it? That's what your hunger's there to get it. And then once you get it, do you keep that same hunger? That's always
that's what everyone's worried. By the way, big up Charles Strong TV, the super chat says, big up Prime firstly. I'm going to guess he might be a Chelsea fan with that background. Is that Stamford shit right there? Urban said Salah with the miss of the season. At least he'll get a trophy for something, Yeah, maybe. I'll big up that, though. I appreciate it a lot, man. And also...
massively appreciate that. Thank you.
Love that, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, look. If this is Salah not in form, you know what? We have to be honest. I think any of our clubs would have paid what we had to seal him.
No. Don't put me in there. Do not put me in that.
Well, no, your club did, bro, with the Aubameyang. They did.
Oh, I thought you was talking directly about him, though.
Oh, no. Most of our clubs would. I mean, for me personally, I would have. At his age and with his fitness, I would have. He's been firing too many seasons. Even when Liverpool had a bad season, he was good. So I personally would have. I hope his form stays the same. I really do. But if this is him in bad form, it will come back. But I need to see more than a couple of games to go at him. I do agree with you, though, Lee. We have to talk on it because, we're already having to talk on Haaland. Jamie, you're already having to talk on Núñez, to be fair, right? So if you're having to talk on Núñez, I'm sure, Ladimus, you're probably having to talk on Sterling. We're all having to talk on players that we have bought. So the same way, I'm happy to talk on the fact that John Stones signed a new contract last summer. There was quite a lot of money, and since then hasn't played too much. So I'm happy. We all have to talk on it. That is it. Yeah. And, is it a coincidence that Salah's signed that deal and now his form's dropped off?
And,
We will
and
see.
it's been 6 months of poor form, to be honest. Like, let's not forget that. Since January, since he came back from the African Cup of Nations, he's been poor. He did what he did in the Champions League final game the day before. Sorry, a week before. Sorry, apologies. He called out Real Madrid and he put in a disaster class. We need to stop with this rhetoric that he's been bad for the last couple of games. It's been a while, and I'm not going to have nobody sit here and tell me that this guy deserved that money, because in my opinion, he doesn't. You don't pay somebody for what they've done. You pay someone for what they're going to do. And is Salah going to live up to that £350,000?
I hear you.
No, he's not. In my...
Ladimus, I've got a question from, obviously, I'm City guy. Is Firmino the best number 9 in the world again?
No, he was never the best 9 in the world. He was the best. He was probably the best false 9, I guess, if you're not counting Messi. But the best actual number 9, no, he was never the best.
It's just a thing. Just because on that performance today, Jamie, how many assists did he register in it? He got. So, I don't know how many assists. I think he got goal as well.
5 GA in one match, weren't it, or something?
So
that's
can I ask a question? Did he play against United?
Yeah, but he played central midfield against United.
Right. No, it's just that was before the game. When Núñez got sent off, I said, you know what, this could be a blessing against United, because you could have Firmino come in, know what he does, and you know what? I'll be honest, what he did today was what he used to do. It was just natural goal scoring, link up play.
He stayed high up.
Yeah, it was really, really, really good. I think the delivery as well from Robertson and Trent today was sensational. Look, that is what you needed, innit? That's what Liverpool needed. It's something that I guess last week United needed. On Monday, United needed that 1-0 win against you guys. Massively needed it.
2-1.
And today, you lot just got. I said I can see Bournemouth getting smashed here, because sooner or later
you said 6-0. I think you said 6-0 earlier.
I said 5 or 6-0 because I'm never going to predict 9-0, bro. But I said smashed. But yeah, I mean, I was with Soups and we were just clocking them up. And at the same time, I'm clocking us go 2-0 down and thinking, oh, here we fucking go. But yeah, it's interesting because when Núñez, Núñez got one more game, then he's back.
Yeah, so he's back for the Merseyside derby on the weekend.
Will he come? Will he walk straight back in?
No, Bob. It all depends how the Newcastle game goes. Plus, we've got to manage Bobby properly because he had muscle injuries last season. So we've got to manage him correctly. He's 30 odd, So now we have to manage him correctly. So 3 games in a row. I think he'll play Newcastle. I think he might actually start the Merseyside derby because we just had Darwin Núñez get sent off for violence, and you're playing the Merseyside derby. Do you really want to put him straight in? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So because then you know what the Everton defenders are going to be like. They're going to be all over him, ain't they? Try and get a reaction. So I'll probably start with Bobby. But what you're saying there about Bobby, when he plays in the role he played today, when he stayed up top and didn't come too deep, he's very good. He's always going to have that touch, ain't he? He's always got a good touch. He's always He's always got good link up play, and today he had that, and that's what we really rate about him. And today he does. He can score goals if he gets himself in the box as well, which always irritated us as Liverpool fans because we can see it. Get in the box. You can score goals, and his goals today were proper number 9 goals, weren't they? They were in the inside the penalty box where it should be, and that's where you want your number 9 if he's playing that. But look, he's not an out 9, is he? He's our false 9. He probably, apart from Messi, I would say he made the false 9 popular. Apart from Messi, I would say, because. That you think that combination between him, Mane and Salah back, it's incredible. I would say him, Thomas Muller, and Messi have played that role the best.
Yeah, possibly. I think that's a fair point, to be fair.
Muller.
That's not a bad point. Do you know what?
Thomas Muller can play. Sometimes could have played that.
Jamie,
number,
obviously, the score suggests that defensively you were sound today. But I made a comment earlier, and I just want your opinion on it. So for the last year or so, whenever we talk on, so let's talk on, I'm just going to talk on Ederson quick. Whenever people talk about Ederson's, the fact he's won multiple Golden Gloves, right? Mm-hmm. People say, but that's not because of Ederson. That's because City have so much possession that defensively City don't need to be that good because possession-wise, our defense doesn't get tested, right? Yeah. And I was just thinking, And it's always because your midfield's so good, your defense doesn't get tested. And I was just thinking before today, Liverpool's defense has got tested because your midfield has not been up to scratch.
Yeah.
And maybe your defense hasn't looked as good. Would you not say that the exact same that has been said about City could also be said about Liverpool, that generally Liverpool's defense hasn't been tested as much because generally your midfield is too good. So it's just, and I was thinking, hold on. I rave about Liverpool's defense as well. I think Liverpool's defense is very good. I not to the point where I'm saying that none of our defenders can get in your defense. That's insane. But I do think your defense is good. But I was just thinking, hold on, is it a coincidence that now your midfield's not performing as well, all of a sudden your defense is looking a bit flaky? I thought maybe it's just a fact that neither of our defenses are as good as our midfield and our forwards. That's just the way it is.
I think
they're perfect for our systems.
And I think the old saying goes, you don't want to know how good your defenders are. Do you know what I mean? You never want to know that. It's all about control. If you can control a game of football, your defense won't be as hurt, but they're still at a level that they're good enough to come in if needed, to sort things out.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, you look at the year Liverpool had all their centre-backs out and they played midfielders in the centre-back area. We couldn't control games of football and we're getting battered. As soon as we put them midfielders back in midfield and just settled on 2 defenders to play every game, last 10 games of the season we won 8 and drew 2. And you're right, it is about that. It is about control. It's like Pep at Barcelona. He's playing Mascherano and stuff like that at centre back because he had such control of the game for 90 minutes. They weren't coming under constant attack, and if they did come under the odd attack here and there, they were good enough to mop it up. And I think that's the same with Liverpool and Man City.
Yeah.
But I don't think.
Go on, Lee.
Not saying that. I don't really know where Liverpool fans feel they are at this season, but I'm sure you're not going to take too much away from this game because, again, I'm going to go back to the same rhetoric that everyone's been saying about all the other clubs. They've not played hard games, etc., etc. So Bournemouth are probably relegation fodder. We know they're going to go down. So, I don't know if you're going to have a good or bad season. I don't think you're going to have a great season, but I know you've scored 9 goals. But do we take that into an isolated incident and say, look, you've played well? Are we going to say that Firmino's back? No. Are we going to say that he's a good player now still? I mean, look, he can see serviceable, but he's not that guy. Like, we saw what he did against a quality, or so, like, players that have got good quality with the likes of Lisandro Martinez, had him under wraps. Like, when he went home, I'm sure he had to empty his back pocket and he had Firmino hanging out the back of it. Varane, like we saw.
That's not quite true because everyone who watched that game, Bobby Firmino played midfield. He didn't get up front once.
Yeah, well, so for me, like, I'm not
having the Bobby slander because Bobby has a bench.
I am going to lie to you. Like, sometimes
Bobby Firmino is a bench player.
You got to take the L. And you got.
But I don't get is everyone coming at Liverpool. Yeah, we've had a bad start. Right, we've had a bad start, and that's fine. Today was a difference. Yeah, it was Bournemouth. Everyone would say it was 9-0, but I looked at the performance. The performance was totally different to what we had in the last 3 games. Personnel the same. Performance was totally different. And the performance today was a more high intense performance. I saw pressing and running for 90 minutes.
But isn't it easy to do that against championship players? That's my whole point.
Well, we played Fulham. We did it.
Last. No, but you did. But you just didn't. You just came up against better quality. My point I'm trying to say is that I don't want Liverpool fans. Well, I mean, look, you can, but I feel that would be to your downfall, your detriment. Because Newcastle will be a good barometer. You got Newcastle at home next. Let's see if you can beat them 2 or 3-0 convincingly. Then we can say that Liverpool look to be cooking.
So, do you think Arsenal will go finish above Liverpool this season?
Say mate. Say it again.
I was saying, do you think Arsenal will go finish above Liverpool this season?
No. This is what people do. I'm not talking about Liverpool. We're not talking about Arsenal, right? I'm not talking about Liverpool. So
you're saying about our downgrade, and we're not going to have a good season. So
that's irrelevant right now. We're talking about Liverpool.
Us not having a good season is finished below you. That's what I'm saying.
No, it's not. No, hold on.
Yeah,
your manager. No, hold on. I'm going to go back. I'm going to rebuttal your same. Your manager said that you have the best keeper, the best left back, right back. He went through the whole.
We
team.
have the best keeper in the league. Yeah.
No. Hold on.
Oh, we
I'm
do.
quoting. But hold on. Hold on. I'm quoting your manager. Your manager said you have the best 11 in the league. This is what he said. These are his words. So I'm then saying to you,
we did, yeah.
No. He said it in the summer. He said it in. No. I'm going off. No, but I'm going off what your manager says. Your manager's the one that pays the bills, and he's the one that makes the decisions.
I'm not Jurgen Klopp.
I mean, he doesn't pay the bills, to be fairly.
But okay, so my point I'm trying to say to you is, if your manager's saying this stuff yet, and he's feeding this to the fans, a poor season to you is basically not winning anything. That's what it is, and I don't think you're going to win the league. You're so that's
poor season to us finishing at the top 4. That's a poor season.
I think this rival fans trying to go at Liverpool. It's a bit like. I get it. People don't like Liverpool fans and stuff, and that's fine. But let's kind of be realistic. Liverpool are not going to fall off a cliff. Like their first.
I didn't say that. I just said that they're not going to have as good a season.
I didn't say you said that. Learn to listen.
Okay.
I know their first 3 games has been a bit like shaky and stuff, and that's fine. And I expected better myself. But let's just be realistic. They're still at the very least the second best team in the league. Like they'll still compete for the title. I don't have them winning it, but. They will still be amongst it. They are still one of the best teams in the world. Like, let's just be real about what we see with Liverpool. Just because they have a bad patch, a bad few games, doesn't mean that all of a sudden a bad team.
All I'm saying is, if the manager's telling me you've got the best 11 in England and then you don't win the league, there's problems. There's problems in it. That's all I'm saying.
He's definitely wrong.
I mean, you say there are problems, but Liverpool can be amazing, but City can still be better than them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I'm right.
But I think what Lee's saying is, look, I get where you're coming from, because I'll be the first to say I still believe the only team challenging us for the league this season is Liverpool. However, I do get where Lee's coming from. That Lee is just literally, this is why we do YouTube. If there's questions, we need to ask them. And that's all we're saying. If there's questions, let's ask the questions. Same way, we're going to ask questions on Arsenal all season long. And Lee's going to be ready to answer them. It's just questions. So, yeah, look. But, however, I do believe this has been Liverpool's bounce back today. But same way that Manchester United's, and this can be a segue if you want, Cass, same way that I thought on Monday it was Man United's bounce back. But more importantly was that they carried that momentum on into the Southampton away game today and then into the Leicester away game. Because it's all well and good winning 2-1 against Liverpool when you can get your fans up for it. But can you go away to Southampton, a lesser team, and still get results? So, Cass. 30 people. I don't know how many people are in here, but if the likes aren't on 100, there's a thumb below you. It's free to tap. It turns from light grey to dark grey, and it helps us. Please give it a smash now. So, Cass, tell us about your team.
All right,
their dominant win over Southampton's youngest.
It was it was exactly how I described it. How it'd go again. It was a shit game. Again, it was a shit game. But you know what? The best thing about Liverpool, we beat you guys.
You can't keep doing that.
Oh, yes, I can, and I will, because it's still fresh. So anyway, long story short,
it should have been 10.
That's nice, and we should have put 5 past Liverpool, but here we are. But what's it called? The Southampton game, I said it was going to be boring, and it was exactly that. It was absolutely boring. It was even from a Southampton perspective, not just Man United. Who's doing that in the background? So I'm fidgeting with something.
Some gremlins here. I think Ladimus brought them.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, it was a boring game.
It's not me. I've been muted.
No, it's not usually.
Yeah, it was boring. It was scrappy from both teams. Southampton didn't look like they were on the boil. Neither did Man United, but Man United just seemed to just play. He tweaked it yet again, Ten Hag, and just played to the team's strengths a little bit more than what he wanted. Other than the goal was fantastic. It was from play, like literally was from play. It wasn't a scrappy goal. Good goal from Bruno. It's weird. Bruno played absolutely shit, gets a goal. But he should have had 2 goals actually that game. But it's I don't get Bruno in a sense, because everything that's easy he can't do, but everything that's hard he can do. And that finish was absolutely hard. That's a hard finish in a volley.
Do you know what? That's Raheem Sterling for you.
Yeah, no, but he just needs to score from 2 yards out, don't he? But
no, but his first goal today, sensational. I mean,
yeah,
we'll move on to that later. But
I was going to ask because that was going to be a deflection. But the Man United thing, it was just that all I can say on the positive of the Man United game today was that we defended sublime. Martinez was sublime against Shea Adams. The whole defense looked great. That's all I can really say. It was just a bit, again, McTominay was clueless, but he done the clueless very well. He's playing out of his skin. You know what? My face was nearly in like shock because if you saw the way his knee went, I thought he'd done his ACL. And I was thinking, as much as I don't like him, I was thinking, bro, that looked really bad. And he just shrugged it off in the end. It took him a little while to get. But other than that, the team played well. But the team, you know what I can say this time though? It wasn't the defense and it wasn't really their attack. Sancho played very well, but then he got hooked off at the 55th minute because I suppose you got a game in 4 days or 5 days or something. You got to keep players fresh. But he just seems to just put the defenders on and just do what he had to do. Put Casemiro on, put on. What I realized is Eriksen can't play a 90-minute game. His fitness is still far beyond off. So he's only got a gas tank of Tielemans at the moment, and it's the midfield's got to really take hold of the game a little bit more.
Quick run on the Eriksen one. Is it a gas tank, or do you think there might be? I would imagine he wears a monitor 24/7, right? He's being monitored 24/7, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think there's like if his heart rate gets to a certain point that he has to be pulled?
I don't think so. No, I wouldn't think they would allow him into the game if that was ever a risk. I think it's too risky if that was the case. I just feel he's trying to play him as a box-to-box, and he can't do the box-to-box. The thing is, Eriksen can run miles, right? He can run around the pitch. But in terms of pressing for 90 minutes, it's another ask. Do you get what I mean? In that sense, the thing is, Man United pressed well.
But joking aside, and I don't want to sound like a heartless bastard at all, right? Oh. I don't know. I really don't, and I'm not coming out with this. No one take this the wrong way. Look, if he shouldn't be playing, he shouldn't be playing. But he has been back playing competitive football for long enough. And you would presume that he's only been allowed to come back and play competitive football based on the fact that it's not a risk. If it's managed correctly, it's not a risk. Course. So based on that, it's not like he's just joined you. Right?
Yeah,
it's not like he has been playing for Brentford back end of last season. So you would have thought his fitness, and he's not that old, is he? He's not as
no, it's about fair. It's about fair.
Yeah, it's fair.
So,
but he had a great first half though. The thing is, his first half was really good. Like his first 45 minutes was sick. Like anyone can say that, it was actually good.
Overall. I thought Man United were good.
Yeah, because in the first 45 minutes, the Southampton somehow blocked a trick. Like I'm talking an on-goal triple shot.
Yeah. It was four shots that you say.
Bizunu and that Kotchap. I'm not joking. If it was even though we won the game, I would have gave man in the match to either Bizunu or Kotchap because Kotchap was that good. He was that good. Him and Salisu was working very well. Walker Peters was very good as well, but until we got to Malacia, he looked clueless. He looked clueless against Malacia, and then but the left back of there, they played Gineppo, and Alanga couldn't even get past Gineppo. Alanga's that's his cue to get dropped. Now that's his cue to get dropped. You can't do that again. And Casemiro has to come in. You have to manage these players. I do wonder what lineup he'll go with Leicester because then you got Arsenal afterwards. But I kind of wanted to draw with Leicester, but I'm kind of glad they lost. Because
I think taking in today's games as an isolation, I think you played well. Like you were never ever going to play the same way you played against Liverpool because you counter-attacked against them. You kind of, and I've given Man United flack, so I have to also give them praise when they deserve it. And I think you beat Liverpool convincingly. You know what, Southampton, they had a few little, but like you kept them at arm's length throughout the game. You should have scored maybe another 2 goals. Like, I mean, overall, like it was an easy work. Like, and again, I have to give the praise. I was on to Ten Hag last 2 weeks, and look, he's fully come back, and he's showing me that he can do some really good stuff. So again, I'm not going to be spiteful.
So you're telling me he went from 10 Hag, 9 Hag, 8 Hag, then he gets his wins back against Liverpool. He goes back up to 9 Hag, then 10 Hag. That's what you're saying.
Technically, you know what? Technically, bro. Yeah, he's 10 Hag again. You know what? That's a good point. He's now officially 10 Hag. I will call him 10 Hag again for now.
Do you know what it is though? Like people online and like if I give people slander, you have to also give the respect when they deserve it. Like, and I'm not going to be one of them guys that just constantly banter someone for the sake of it. If you're doing things that are good, bro, like, what do you want me to do? Like, just keep having an agendas. Like, that's not me, man. I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm going to say, look, he's doing good things. Nah, man, yeah, that's dead, man. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, I'll keep it honest, man. He did well. I watched the whole game. Like, he was like, you guys. I thought it was. You know what I say? It was a professional performance. That's what it was. Like, simply, it was just professional. You knew the world was watching. It was a 12:30 kickoff. You know, notoriously, the big teams don't step up in those big games. And for me, I think Man United, as I said, you had them at arm's length. Bruno was poor, in my opinion. I thought he was absolutely shocking. But overall, I think everyone else was good. I thought really my man of the match for Man United was Malacia. I thought he was really good, to be honest.
He looks like a real gem.
Good as well, you know.
Yeah, looks like a real gem. What about you, Ladimus and Jamie? Did you catch anything for the United game at all? Or?
Yeah, I fell asleep in the first half, and that weren't Man United's fault. That was, it was just it was a very slow tempo, weren't it? It was a very slow tempo. But I got to say, Man United, I thought, deserved their win. As Lee said, it was a professional performance. It's 2 wins on the bounce, and you got a game on the 31st, don't you?
We got Leicester. We got Leicester away,
Leicester,
and then we got
Leicester are shocking, so that could be a win. And then
that's 3-0. That's you're beating them 3.
Then you got the big Arsenal game, ain't you, next Sunday? So
I think we beat them too.
United. I said it all along. United have got I said it last pre-season. United have got very good players that haven't been coached properly for a few years. Now they've got a proper manager in. I mean, I think I said this to you, Cass, didn't I? It might be the one when you came on my show. Now you've got a proper manager in. Now you've got a proper manager in. You're going to see some changes at the club, and it's going to go be the better for you guys. And you deserve your win.
Hopefully. That's what I don't know. What about you, Ladimus, man? Obviously, moving on a little bit from the Man United. Yeah, moving on a little bit from the Man United performance. Did anyone that stood out for you today if you watched it?
I saw bits and pieces. It was a good game. I just thought it was kind of professional for Man United, and like it's good that from the Liverpool game we can now build and slowly just rack up those points. Like I've been saying about United, like the overreaction people have had from them, rival fans and even United fans themselves, downplaying this United team. Like I just don't believe it. You've got too many quality players. You've got a good coach. I expect you to be doing well and be in this top 4 conversation.
Fair enough, man.
Cass, going forward for the rest of the season, do you reckon his preferred midfield option for the rest of the season might be Casemiro and Fred, considering they play for Brazil? I don't know. They play for Brazil together. Got a good communication there.
I don't know. I feel like if you're going to use Casemiro and Fred, that's going to be a game that you're really scared of the opposition. Maybe against the Man City, I would use Casemiro and Fred. I think that would be very useful. And then I would use I don't know. I'd use an attack and probably Bruno just for the counter. You got to face the fact but against someone like Chelsea or whatever, I would not use Fred in that game. I feel like I think we can really bully that midfield of theirs. It's just if you can lock up Odegaard. Like in Arsenal's midfield, I feel like there's the key there slightly because Odegaard does make things tick and he's chewing. But in terms of like Chelsea's they're just shit, aren't they? Like if I'm being honest, like they're not that great. But like let's be true, like other than that, Reece James like mad assist and everything, they weren't that great against Leicester today. You got to admit though, Ladimus, man, it's just
hold on, we'll move on to that later.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just like with the midfield, I really want to see who's going to be his midfield 3, but we need more balance elsewhere now. I'm looking at the midfield, you get Casemiro and they're great. You get further out the pitch. But it's now that I think Martial's back for the Leicester game. It's not the point, though. When you go into your options on a wing, you got a Langer. Do you get what I mean? That's where the problem comes from now. And it's just where we need...
Can I just ask, Kaz, as well? Like, even though like Man United are like, you've won 2 games, you're not up. You still have to look at your attack and say, to be honest, out of the top 6 or 7, probably like the worst. Your attack is worse than West Ham's. I have to say that for definite. Your attack's not better than Arsenal's. It's not better than Liverpool's.
I think we can kind of. I can kind of because West Ham ain't even scored a goal this year.
I know, but if we're looking at taking a front 3 or front 4 of Scamacca, Antonio, Bowen. Yeah, and but they got Paqueta now. That is better than what we've got.
But we can't. For me, but we can't really do that because we don't know if Paqueta and Scamacca is going to do it in the Prem. Cornet, we don't even know if he's going to adapt to it because he's a left back on the left wing.
You're right, but if I'm looking at my team that I want to start with, I don't want Rashford in my team. Sancho's good, but like even today, look, I have to be honest, he was good, but he was very just like in and out of the game. Like he's not doing enough. Like he's not grabbing games by the scruff of the neck. And then I look at
he's not going to be the one to do that.
And then 100%.
And then I agree with, and then I look at Ronaldo again. He was poor. Look, we know his head's turned. His head turned, so he might leave. So if I'm banking on Martial, Rashford, and then obviously behind, if we're banking on Bruno, that front four isn't good enough to take you to top four. I'm sorry. So
I mean, it's done it before. You can say it's not good enough. It's done it before twice.
Yeah. But now we're looking at like these teams that are now in front of them. I just don't like. Again, this is what. Again, my problem with Man United is everyone looks at the paper team. Everyone looks at their names on a piece of paper and says, "You know what? They're good," but in reality, they're not good. Rashford is one of those.
Well, I feel like, I get what you mean with Rashford, but he's not a striker. He just had to be used there because we had no choice.
No. I'm not judging him off today's game.
I just feel like you can't rely on Martial to stay fit, and that's the issue. And we don't know what it's going to look like unless Martial is fit. We need another striker, and it's evident. I said it even yesterday. I'll go for someone like Mitrovic or Tony. I would love a second striker like that, a different option.
Do you get my point though? Like when you think about your front three or front four, none of them are gonna grab a game by this. Like you've got Sterling, he can do a bit of magic to grab. Sancho doesn't do that. Rashford doesn't do that. Martial don't do that. They're so inconsistent. Liverpool, you've got players, Diaz, bits of magic that can against Crystal Palace grab a game. We've got Saka at Arsenal. We've got Martinelli. We've got Jesus. They can do real. And then obviously Man City. Let's not talk about them. But with Man United, it's just there's something with them. They're just weird. Like I can't bank on Man United doing enough to.
I feel like because it's the first season and everything, I'm not expecting top four. So I don't care about if you can. But I feel like if the goals are I feel like the goals are going to be a bit like Chelsea. It's going to get spread around the team this year. And it's going to have to be like that. And I don't mind that. If that means next year we get the right player that can come in, maybe if we get Champions League for Europa or something or whatever it might be. I'm kind of banking on that. But I don't know. Yeah, you might be right, but you just gotta have to wait and see. You know me. Because you said 3-0 against Leicester. I'm thinking, all right, where are the 3 goals coming from there? Slightly, do you know what I mean? It's like,
but my thing is, though, Leicester have to win, yeah. So they're gonna counter, they're gonna attack you, and this is gonna be perfect for you. You always beat Leicester, and for me, I just think that there are some games where you can show that quality. You did it against Man United, against Liverpool, and I'm sure you will show quality against Arsenal. But I just don't think over the duration of the season, when you go to places like Wolves, when you go away to places like Arsenal and Chelsea and these other, and even when you go to places like what's that team's called? I can't remember the name of it now. Nottingham Forest, for example, Newcastle. All of these games, like I just don't feel you're going to have enough to get you past those games, and you might get a lot of draws this season, which is not going to obviously get you to the point you want to get to. And that's not even me trying to slight, because I don't rate Man United this season, but I do think that you did play well today, so I have to give you credit, man.
Yeah, Cass,
he ain't said nothing wrong really.
Before we move on, Soups had a question for you. You wanted me to ask you what your thoughts were on Casemiro today.
There was
Soups,
nothing amazing,
reason, by the way.
No, there was nothing. There was nothing amazing, but there was nothing bad because he didn't have much time on the field. All I can say is that Southampton didn't go through the middle though. It looked assured. When he was there, he dropped into a back 5 sometimes. He actually scared Ariba off the ball. Like he legit scared him off the ball when he came running at him. Like he legit got shook, and I was thinking, what the hell? What? I'm like, really? I'm like, okay, cool. I don't mind that. But yeah, man, like Casemiro, you can already tell like he's just coming and the whole team lifts. Like everyone was we started to press a little bit more. We just looked solid. After he came on, other than that bicycle kick that they nearly got out of nothing, I just thought, yeah, it's like Liverpool when they scored slightly. I just thought, I don't really see much. I wasn't nervous. Like that's the thing, I didn't feel nervous. And he brought Fred on, and I definitely wasn't nervous no more because he had to whip in balls and goalkeeper had to keep coming up and playing long. I was like, yeah, I don't mind. So,
do you know what I wanted to ask you guys? Like, I know this isn't even about top 6, but what do you not make of Ward-Prowse? Because I think he's so overhyped.
Yeah,
I think
his free kicks. You know what? His free kicks are unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. They're not overhyped whatsoever.
No,
it's a bit like, who was it? Was it Rob Lee? Anyone that's my age?
Yeah, Rob Lee, Newcastle.
No, not Newcastle. Not Newcastle. No. Robert, he was a rugby player, rugby union player. Yeah, that was so damn good. Was so damn good at taking conversions, that he got signed for an American football team and literally used to just come on the pitch to take their kicks and then go off the pitch but bro, he wasn't good at rugby. He was just so good at kicking. I think that's the same with Ward-Prowse. I don't think his overall game is good.
I don't know. I think with Ward-Prowse, the problem is, I think he's decent on the ball, but the problem is when you're playing with Southampton at the moment, he can't show off what he wants to do because everyone's behind him.
Would you take him at Liverpool in your midfield?
I said it.
I'd take anyone.
I said it in pre-season. I'd have Ward-Prowse. I think Ward-Prowse is actually a decent footballer.
I don't think so, man.
It's like Jota at Wolves. No one thought Jota at Wolves was any good because he played in a defensive-minded team. You know, you put him in an attacking team and he showed his quality. I think with Ward-Prowse, you can tell he's good on the ball. He can pass the ball. He can knock the ball around. He's got a good pass to him. He's not like amazing or anything, but he keeps the ball moving. And he's got good vision. But when you play for Southampton and everyone's behind you, you can't show that off.
Yeah, but the thing is with Ward-Prowse, he's just one of them guys, like he's a star of the team and that's all he's going to be. It's like taking Ashley Williams out of Swansea. As soon as he came out there, he was just average and he just showed where he was. Why would you wouldn't need, James Ward-Prowse wouldn't even suit Liverpool because you already got set piece takers in your team already and that's what he done. What do you mean? You got Trent.
He's crap at free kicks.
Yeah, he's not good at free kicks. He's great at deliveries, but he's not good at free kicks.
Yeah, he's not great at free kicks.
Well,
we just say
we're going next, Cass, with 96
Arsenal.
likes. People with 4 likes off 100. There's over 100 of you in here, which means basically
someone's not hit the
we
like
need more
button
likes. We need more likes.
Yeah,
so people
like
run up the likes. It's free. I know we keep saying it, but we never push for super chats or anything like that. We just like likes. We like being liked. So please smash a like. Where are we going next? I think we should go, as
Arsenal.
we were talking on United's next
like
game being Leicester, I think we should go to Chelsea because it's relevant. We've been doing segues the whole way along. What are you pointing
Arsenal, because Lee's got a dip in like 10 minutes, so
Oh,
we might as
yeah,
well get
yeah,
straight to
Yeah,
Arsenal.
I got to drive home only because I got to drive home, man. Annoyingly, I'm at my mum's, man.
Where to
No,
even
that's cool,
start
man.
with?
That's cool.
Whatever
Go to
to even
Arsenal,
start with Arsenal, man. Like they just prevailed, didn't they, Lee? Like, and other than Gabriel showing what some Arsenal fans have kind of said this season, he might be the weakest link in his whole starting 11 potentially. Not even Xhaka.
He was their best defender last year, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Obviously, I was at the game, and look, I've said it before. The thing with Gabriel, like he's a good defender, but he's got something about him where he's got this kind of like Mustafi gene, like that old Giroud. He just makes these stupid decisions and silly mistakes at times, and that's what's always going to kind of not allow him to get to that world class, get to that next level, because people kind of always try and label him as this new up and coming defender, but I don't see him getting to it until he stops making no decisions. But we were actually in total control of the whole first half. We should have scored at least 2 goals, and it was just we've got this whole Wenger ball back, like where we're just not shooting. We're at the edge of the box and we're trying to score.
We've had that before, bro.
Exactly that. We're trying to score that perfect goal, and you saw it in that Crystal Palace game. I don't know if you guys remember Ødegaard. He was through and goal, and he passed it off. Like, and I don't even get what he's doing. But look, like today, it was why I'm actually more happy about the result is everyone keeps labeling Arsenal as, look, we played our first game, Crystal Palace. Can we go away to these like middle of the table teams and kind of show up a little bit of grit? We did that. We passed that test. Can we come from 1-0 down? We passed that test. Can we be can a team score and how are we going to react? We passed that test. The next test, we need to play a big team. So for me, look, at this moment in time, we've won 4 games in the league in a row, and we've done them pretty much 3 of them convincingly. And today we were all over them. I was nervous because I was thinking, oh crap, like we conceded in the second half, but I always knew we was going to kind of score at least 1 goal. I was quite confident with that. And look, again, we've come back and we've won. Like everyone keeps talking about Spurs against Chelsea, saying how if this was Conte, everyone would be lauding him. Conte's got this fighting spirit. Conte's got this within Spurs. And look, we're doing the bits. We're doing the bits, man. We're doing the business at this moment in time. No one can take that away from us. Yes, we might lose games. We're going to lose 2-3 games in a row, but no one can take that away from us right now. We're showing different things within our team. And listen, all I can do is thank Pep for what he's done with this Gabriel Jesus, man. This guy's he's different gravy, man.
Yeah, he just brings another element, don't he? Like it's creates so much
Mentality as well,
space.
though. Listen, I'm gonna sound so boring already, and there's still a whole season to go, but I won't stop saying how important mentality is, right? It's so important. I truly believe that Chelsea game in pre-season when you won 4-0, yeah, I think that was off the back of players like Jesus, players like Zinchenko, because at that point everyone was laughing at Arsenal because of signings not going right, and I just feel like it's players like Jesus and Zinchenko, and I'm sure there's some others in your team, maybe Saliba and others.
Saliba, amazing today. Like again,
you haven't come here to be laughed at. Like people, let's pull together, yeah. And it's now when you look at Tierney coming back in, Zinchenko's been holding down that spot, and now you've got Tierney coming in, who no one on this panel will deny. Tierney is a good defender, right? He just needs to get on top of his fitness.
Yeah,
He cares. He works hard. He's
he's
actually very similar to Zinchenko with his mentality. His fitness is just dog shit, right? So, but I think all these players, like, they're so important. Mentality is everything. People often don't see mentality, don't see fitness, don't see leadership as attributes, but they're probably the most important attributes you can have on a pitch, and that's what Jesus has brought you. I said to you, even if he doesn't score for you, and you know what, he didn't score today, he's not going to stop running for you. And do you know what, it's funny you say that, because even when we scored the second goal, obviously he was waiting for VAR because it was a possible handball. If you saw his celebration, it was like he means business. Like, it was just pure joy and elation, because we knew how hard he was running, how hard he was trying to do these little tricks and flicks, and a lot of stuff. It is really true. You don't see a lot and Kaz, you went to Man United against Liverpool. So there's certain things that you don't see on the TV where you see when you're live. The movement, the flicks, the kind of different runs, the third man runs that someone makes. And going back to Saliba for a second, it's hard. It really is hard not to compare him to Van Dijk, because Van Dijk is this amazing player for the last 2 years, 3 years possibly, who's taken probably defending to a new level. But Saliba does everything so easy. It's hard. It's hard to get gas.
You should be winning the league then, isn't it?
No. Listen, I'm not
even laughing at when did Van Dijk become the benchmark? Sorry.
No. I'm not saying he's the best player ever. I do think, though, for the last 2 years, he has taken defending to a new level, though, man. I
mean, yeah, I agree with you. The season before that, I mean, Diaz was the Premier League Player of the Season, but yeah, totally.
Yeah, no, I give you that. No, of course, yeah, no, I'm not hating, but listen, Diaz.
I'm just a biased City fan. Ignore me. Carry on.
Yeah, no. Do you know what? You're right. Like, I'm not here to discredit Diaz as well, because I really do like Diaz. But I just think over the last 2 seasons, I do think that Van Dijk has done some. He's done some like some real good stuff. I have to give it to him. But for me, like, that perfume's running out though. But like, I think for me, I really do. I just think that if we beat Aston Villa, that will be 5 wins in a row. Look, if this was any other team, like, I know I keep saying it, but if this was any other team, people would be lauded for it. And you have to give Arteta the credit. You have to look the turnaround that's going on. We lost our first 3 games last season. We now won 4, possibly 5. Man United away, as in next week Sunday. And look, like, it's a good week. I can enjoy Carnival weekend now, man. I can't lie.
Have you got the new top, by the way, for Carnival?
No, I don't. I
bet they sold out.
Yeah. So no, do you know? I was meant to go and get it after the game today, but I had to do the interview. That's why I'm late home, because I did the AFTV interview.
Arsenal's kit designs,
Arsenal, but my opinions are going to go on forever. I'll speak them on Monday when it's just me and Cass. But Jamie, come. No, in fact, Ladimus, come to you first. What's your opinions on Arsenal's start so far and today? Because it is relevant, the fact they bounced back today. So
I think their start has been very good, but expected, to be fair, based on the teams they've had to face. I like Saliba. This whole comparison with Van Dijk and stuff is like crazy. Don't set him up to fail too early. I do like the guy, but like, don't set him up to fail too early. But like, you guys have been playing well. Again, it's too early to place this like mentality monsters tag on yourselves, because if you play a bigger team like City and Liverpool, and you don't show that mentality monsters tag, then it's just going to come back to bite you. So I just think, just take it like easy with the gas and everything. But Arsenal have been playing well. Like, no one can really deny that. No one can take that away from them. They have been playing well. It's just the overhype and overpraise is just wild.
I don't think
What about
Arsenal
you,
being
Jamie?
overpraised though. I don't think they're being overpraised. I'll be honest with you.
Do you rate? What about you, Jay? Are you rating what Arsenal's doing at the moment?
Yeah, Arsenal look good. What can you say? They've won 4 out of 4. They're looking good. They're playing some nice football. I can't really have a go about Arsenal. They're looking decent at the moment. Mikel Arteta's got a way he wants to play. But the only thing I will say that worries me about Arsenal going forward for a long season is goal scoring, which might sound a bit weird because Gabriel Jesus is a great player. But I don't know if Martinelli and Saka will get enough goals this season to just keep Arsenal right up there for the whole season. That is my only worry. And I like them players. I'm not dissing them. Martinelli, for all his effort, he's so good on the ball. He's so eye-catching. Lee might agree. His end product's not there yet, though. That's an issue.
I agree.
Saka's a weird kind of player because some parts of the game today looked dismal. And then the other parts, he looked really good. It was it's a weird, Saka's a bit up and down like that. Jesus is going to be quality. Jesus is the buy of the season, without a question for me. By the time your season ends, I think he's just going to be a difference maker for Arsenal. But I think just as the season goes on, for Arsenal to stay right up there, I just wonder if the goals will dry up a little bit when teams start sitting a little bit more back against Arsenal as the season goes on and things like that.
Yeah.
Have they got them goal scorers in them attacking areas to just keep them up there? But other than that, what can you say about Arsenal? They're playing nice football. The players are all looking like they get on. They look like they're a good bunch. So
It does look like that. I've picked up on that. They do look proper together. Their celebrations when they're scoring goals. I mean, that's something I always notice with City. The togetherness is when you score goals.
And do you know what?
London forever.
That was playing at the start.
Listen, cannot take Arsenal.
I love that song, bro.
Every time we talk on Arsenal, Cass cannot take talk on Arsenal.
What I want to see,
when we scored
what I want to see from Arsenal, because as great as it's going and stuff, I don't truly believe there's this change that everyone says that there is. Because I hear it every few years when they make good signings and they start off well. I want to see when the pressure actually comes onto you guys. If you guys
I think that's valid. But
crack under it.
I think that's valid, Ladimus. But I think what Lee said is right because I'll be honest. We did a watch along for the Arsenal Palace game, and look, I will never underestimate Palace ever. Trust me, after today, even more so, but I didn't before today. And they took points at Selhurst Park off of both us and Arsenal last year, right? And again,
Man United.
In the evening kickoff against both of us. So when Arsenal played them, and I said, listen, a 1-0, I think they're 1-0 up. And I said, a 1-0 would be a bigger win for Arsenal against Crystal Palace than a 4-0. Because it's showing that they've got the mentality to hold on, and against a team that last season they crumbled against.
Well,
I
expected them to
had
Palace.
that. Then they've had the big wins against teams like maybe Leicester that a couple of seasons ago Arsenal won the same level on, and then today they're 1-0 down, and they came back from. The only thing I will say is, and this is only based on a full season, and this is when people say, "Can Arsenal challenge?" Let's be realistic. I don't believe even Lee believes Arsenal can challenge. The fact is that they have a squad ready to challenge for top 4. To challenge for top 2, you have to have a squad that is. I don't just mean big. I don't just mean got quality players. You have to have a squad with experience and leaders. That's the difference, and that's the only thing I would say that stops Arsenal from. Their squad is good, but it's not good enough to challenge because they don't have leaders. They don't have experience of players.
But like to have the title race conversation is like ridiculous. But I just mean even in terms of
people want to have it already.
Let's stop there. No Arsenal fan has ever. I always hear this nonsense I've seen online. Not one Arsenal fan has said Arsenal going to win the league. Not one. I
know that's why we shut it down. Arsenal fans have said it, but whatever, we're shutting it down. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Even the pressure of top 4. If you guys get into a comfortable position or things look in your favor and the pressure is on you, do you guys actually step up to it and meet those expectations, or do you crumble? Because I've seen it all before. and it's always the same story, and then you end up falling away. That's why I don't believe the hype.
Anderson.
You guys actually do it.
Yeah, fair. Look. You know, I have to. I'm going to agree with you. I don't disagree with you, but what I will say is, no two seasons are ever the same. So like last season was totally different to this season, innit? But yeah, look, like I'm not talking
about just last season. I'm talking about history. Like from what I've seen, it's the same rhetoric over and over again. We're building a core of young players. We've made good signings, big signings. Oh, we're going to push. We have a good run of form, and you guys fall away. At come the end of it, there's always an excuse as to why we didn't make it. Like it's the same thing over and over. That's why I'm not going to believe it this season. The same way I didn't believe it last season.
That's why you put us. You predicted us to finish 7th, didn't you?
Yeah. So basically, what happened is today there were the potatoes. Some were hash browns, some were chips, and some were fries. They all were team B the potato. Okay, guys. But yeah, man, Lee, big up, man.
Listen, man.
Yeah, Lee, thanks for coming on, bro.
Love for having me on, man. Love.
Enjoy the win.
Wish I could have stayed for longer, but I've now got to drive home, bro, which is not
drive
too far.
Home to that mansion. Drive home to that mansion. Be safe, bro. We'll see you soon.
Bro, listen, love to everyone and enjoy
love.
it. Please, guys, I need to make sure I like the stream. I ain't even done it myself, but yeah, listen,
Yeah,
big up.
Give it a like
everyone.
on your way home. But do it before you start.
Be the potato.
I am. All right, bro, listen, in a bit, bro.
Of London forever.
And let's tag him in.
Whatever the weather.
People,
it's
we've tagged in. Hi.
There you go.
Twice in a day. Twice in a day.
Yeah, man. 2 fights in one night, and then I've come on 2 times in it. So there's a lot of people doing 2 things in 2 nights in it.
Yeah, man, being chips and potatoes. But anyways, long story short, man. Before we move on from the Arsenal subject, just give us your thoughts quickly on we talked about Liverpool earlier, obviously thrashing cherries turned into strawberries. Then we obviously got Man United shit show that turned into 1-0. Somehow was a professional performance. And then obviously touched up a little bit on Arsenal before we move on to, I suppose, Chelsea. What was you saying about the game today, man?
Yeah, so on the United one, I mean, you got the job done. That's the best way to put it. Sometimes you just got to get the 3 points and get out. And that's what you've done. On Liverpool, they just had to do the 9-0, didn't they? And you know what's more annoying? How did Salah not get on the score sheet, man? Like, he's out of my FPL. I'm done. I'm finished with him. He's frauding the season, man. Honestly, pissing me off now.
You know what's funny, yeah? You take him out now, watch him score a hat-trick against Newcastle.
Exactly, I know. That's what I'm scared of. But you know what, yeah? There's a guy who triple captained Firmino. Huh? Like, in which world did someone think...
Soups, he's in Soups' group as well. Soups was telling me earlier.
Yeah, like who thought that? Yeah, triple captain, that guy.
These people, yeah. So I haven't done fantasy football for years, but I've had to do it because the coppish lot have made me do it for the channel. I don't know. I haven't even looked, bro. But you see these people. Some of these people are so, like when you're a gambler and you take big risks for big rewards, yeah? Mm-hmm. I think that can be the only way. Because I'm not going to lie. Who did I put in? I said to you earlier, Guna. I took Callum Wilson out and I put Ivan Toney in, right? However, I'm not going to lie because I had like 8.5 million to spend. And I went past Bobby and thought, oh, with Núñez injured, Bobby might play. I thought, no. And just moved past him. But someone has thought, you know what, he'll play. And it was a game we thought Salah was going to bag. But you're spot on. With Salah's start to the season, his value might have dropped a little bit. So you don't want to drop him anyway, because if you drop him, you're losing money as well. So you've got to keep him in now. But let's be honest, I think, like we knew Liverpool were going to bounce back, I know Salah is going to bounce back. He's the best thing I've seen today, though. Have any of you seen the tweet of Drake in Turks and Caicos? Drake's with his afro, looking hella like Mo Salah, and they're saying Mo Salah's missing. He's currently in Turks and Caicos.
No, I think another best thing today is Gunnar Solskjaer is actually good at probably predictions. He got nearly every prediction right of today. Can you imagine? He said 2-1 Arsenal. He basically said Man United will win. If not, they will scrape a win. He said about the Everton nearly winning. They should have won. Mental, isn't it? Really.
Put Drake up, Soups. Put Drake up. All right, don't put Drake up. But I did say earlier, though, didn't I, Guna? I said, there we go. There he is.
That's actually
wow.
mad. That.
I did say that that Liverpool were going to body about Bournemouth. I saw it coming. But I don't think you'd never predict a 9-0, but it was a great result. But on you guys, you happy?
Someone out there
happy
did.
with the performance?
Yeah, I mean, we've done it. We've done it in every style now, where we've gone down, and now we've won. So it's a good confidence booster, especially with Gabriel make absolute blunder to then go score the winner. I think we're seeing a mentality shift. I mean, it's really early in the season to say that it's fully there and whether we're going to compete for the title or what we can do. But the early signs are really good. I think the mental composure this team showing this season has been phenomenal. And we can only be excited. I mean, if we think about it, the average age of this squad is 24, give or take, and they're still yet to grow. And if they're showing signs of this level, and we bring in competition and we bring in a bit more depth to push them on, it shows how far we can go. We were missing Zinchenko, who's started brilliantly for us, and obviously Thomas Partey, who's the glue to everything we do.
Yeah.
I still think we look good.
With them two, if Zinchenko, because I believe Zinchenko was an injury, wasn't it?
It was a precautionary.
Right.
He had a bit of he complained about something, so they said, "All right, we'll just."
And
not
you know
play
what?
him.
The fact is, this season, you can bring in Tierney and rest Zinchenko, which is a difference to last season. So, if Zinchenko doesn't have that on Tuesday or Wednesday when you're playing, does he come back in?
On the weekend or?
I think you've got a game on Tuesday or Wednesday, ain't you?
Oh, is that this week? Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, we got Villa.
I think it's a full fixture in it this week. Tuesday, Wednesday.
We've got one on Wednesday. I mean, if he's fit, does he come in? Yeah, I'd say yeah, because Tierney just didn't look up for it. So I think he still needs a few substitute appearances before he fully could come in.
That does look like Mo Salah.
There is Mo Salah. That's what Mo Salah's doing today in Turks and Caicos.
That does look like Mo.
Listen, Liverpool can get a 9-0 win while they've registered Salah as playing, but actually he was in Turks and Caicos for the day, chilling on a beach. But, and the other one is, because I agree with you, and this is away from whatever's happened off the pitch, because we can't speak on that. I don't know enough about the Partey thing at all whatsoever, so I'm not going to comment on it. But from a football point of view, if Partey does get his fitness up and does come back, does he walk straight back in? Who gets dropped? Or because you are right, when he plays, he's good.
Yeah, he walks back in. I mean, there's no question about whether he's a starter. I think El Neni is a good placeholder. He does the fundamentals right. He does all the basics. So I just think
I'm not a fan. Not gonna lie, not a fan.
But you know what it is? He's one of those like reliable players who, if you need someone to come in after 6 months, he doesn't need a game to get going. He just comes in, does what he needs to do, and then you can swap him out again. So I think he's a very good squad player. But yeah, I think obviously Partey is Partey. I mean, he does have qualities of, a very top level player, whereas El Neni's a very basic footballer. So he comes straight back in.
Okay. Gas,
segueing off of that,
any comments or?
Yeah, might as well go through. Man City's got Nottingham next. Is that midweek game for you, by the way, Daps?
Yeah, I'm up there for that.
Who have Chelsea got, by the way, Ladimus?
7:30 kickoff as well, which is bastard.
Southampton.
Oh, you got Southampton. Is that away or at home? It's got to be away.
St. Mary's. St. Mary's.
Does it feel like the top 5, top 6 teams are just regurgitating teams to each other?
Yeah,
But there seems to be a mix of teams that are throwing at each other to play.
Might have to worry about Brighton in that mix in a minute, because they're doing really well, and they beat Leeds today.
Yeah, bro.
Graham Potter, most underrated manager in the league. Jeez.
Hold on, where are they? Where are they at the moment? Really?
Second, I think. Second or third.
Who's top?
They're third. Top is Arsenal.
Oh, so we're second.
Arsenal, yourself, and Brighton.
Yeah.
Where's Liverpool?
8th.
Bro,
Where's Chelsea? Where's Chelsea?
Chelsea are 6th. United are 7th. Liverpool's 8th.
See how things changed though. A week ago, I took a screenshot of the table. Not a week ago, in fact, 4 days ago, and like Liverpool were towards the bottom, United were floating around, and Chelsea were the bottom. And it just reminds you that, guys, let's remember it's 3 games in. And it's, I swear, until like about 3, probably until I started doing YouTube and that, we would never even talk about league positions until about 8-9 games. Yeah.
Yeah,
All of a sudden, after one game,
had a rule. Fergie had a rule that you don't look at the table until 10 games in.
Yeah,
That's when you can get a true reflection of what's going to end up.
But it's what it is.
Yeah, smash the like button if you're in here as well. 118. Can we get this up to about 125? Would be nice.
Lovely,
Ratio king in it. It will be nice as well. Cass is gas over the 1-0 win today. You man are 3. Do I look gas to you at all? Like, I think I'm the least gas person.
Cass, I'm going to be 100. The intro, the way you started the show without even saying we're starting the show, and the way you were excited at the beginning of the show, you were definitely in a good mood, which I like seeing. Cass
No, you know it is. Oh, I did. You know it is. That was a different circumstance. But other than that, I was more excited because we done a stream early in the morning. I ain't streamed all day, and I just watched pure football all day long. And I saw Deji knock out someone, Fuzi as well. And I was thinking, yeah, all right, Deji, drawing blood now. All right,
I mean,
cool.
I'm pissed off because I've had to go and get 2 new tires on my car. While I was there, told, and that was 300. While I was there, oh, you need 2 backs as well. So, but we'll order them in. That's another 300. Oh, and by the way, you need new brakes and new brake pads. I'm like, cool, man. The cameras for the studio are going to have to fucking wait.
I think Chelsea need new brakes as well. Got another red card in it as well, Ladimus. Jeez,
yeah, you know what? You know what? That's a really, really, really good segue into the Chelsea thing. And I was looking at that. I was looking at the free kick.
Really?
The sending off. That could have been a straight red, you know. That could have been a straight red.
In a minute.
It wasn't even just a trip. It was pretty violent, to be frank with you. Do you know what it reminded me of slightly? Souls. You see when right, there's taking one for the team, and I get taking one for the team. If you know someone's going to counter and they're going to score, you take one for the team. But it reminded me a bit of the the Gabriel one against Jesus last season, where we just brought him down for no real reason when he was already on a yellow. And it just seemed a bit, I looked at Gallagher and thought, that was a bit immature of you. I get it. I do get it. But you weren't the last man. There were other players there. I get they were going to counter, but it was just, I don't know, it just seemed a bit reckless. What do you think, Ladimus?
I don't like Gallagher. The guy's not good. At least he's not good enough for us.
I said this as well.
Loftus-Cheek.
Yeah, not even. Loftus-Cheek is better, and he's not even that good either. Chelsea fans got gas because of that Crystal Palace loan spell. When you actually look into it, he had about 3 good months where everyone got gassed, and he got that England call up.
But
and the rest of the spell, he didn't really do.
Is Crystal Palace's level though? Would you say that's his level?
That's what I was saying. I was saying that with Callum earlier. He was saying, he's had good spells with West Brom. He's had good spell with Palace.
No. Again, this is a myth. At West Brom, he did nothing. At West Brom, he did nothing. Genuinely did nothing. At Palace, he only had 3 good months. The rest of it was him being poor. He was better when he was playing further forward in like a 3-man midfield, and he had a bit of a free roam, or he played like as a 10. Had a free role. But whenever he was dropped into playing in a double pivot, even at Palace, he got exposed. And all they, and now coming at Chelsea, I don't know what Tuchel's doing, trying to do the experiment playing him there. He played there against Arsenal when we lost 4-0 in preseason. That didn't work. He played there last week, and that didn't work. He's doing it again, and now he's got sent off. The only saving grace, the only thing I'm happy about now is that he's not going to play the next game. But I hope this opens Tuchel's eyes that he's not good enough to play in there. In my opinion, he's not good enough to be in our squad at all, but he's here. So I guess.
Oh, up the Chelsea's going to be on you, boy. Chelsea gang. What do they call him?
Chelsea fans, like they've now realized, thankfully, that he's not good enough.
Actually, no.
I was saying this last season. This guy's not good. And Chelsea fans want to get onto me. Now I'm getting apologies that I was right. Lo and behold. A lot of our academy people hype up and stuff. But like when you actually look into it, of our academy players are just like average Premier League players. Unless like there's Reece James who's quality. Christensen,
Unreal.
maybe.
Unreal again, by the way. Unreal.
Yeah, I know, but again, that's only about 2. Mount, maybe you can have a discussion about, though I don't believe he is. Like, and maybe 3. That's it. Like, it's.
You're saying future captain Reece James?
I would.
Yeah,
For some reason,
if they don't, we'll take him at City as a Kyle Walker replacement. Guy's unbelievable, you know. Honestly,
you have Phil Foden. Keep your hands off.
Yeah,
anyway,
you reckon if City come in for him,
he wants to be Chelsea captain. So I promise Cass I'm not going to speak now, but Reece James, every game I see of him, he's getting better and better. So I'm going to put the mic down so I don't speak. But Reece James, don't speak on him again because I'll pick the mic up. He's too good.
All right, let's talk about a City person then. That was Raheem Sterling. 2 goals today. One of them was actually unbelievable. Was that a deflection, by the way, or was that literally meant to be top bins the way it went?
The man laptop switch off.
Did this with no?
Right, I've seen it. Sorry, I've picked up because everyone's faces looked a bit. I've seen it, Cass.
I think he said his laptop switched off.
I kept. Yeah, he's frozen. No, I don't know what's going on here, but
no, sorry, my laptop went blank. Never mind.
Ladimus, you
my laptop just went blank
because I couldn't answer it. Ladimus. Cass asked you, was that a deflection or? Because I'm not sure. Sterling's first.
No, can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yeah, sorry. Something just happened with my laptop. It went like blank and stuff. Anyway, what was it you guys were saying? What was the last thing you guys were saying?
So what Cass asked, and I don't know the answer. I've watched it 3 times trying to work it out. Was that a deflection, or somehow did he manage to make the ball go up and down that damn quickly for the first goal? No, he can't hear us, can he?
Sterling, I didn't see a deflection. I didn't see a deflection on it.
But neither did I.
I didn't notice a deflection. I think Sterling meant it.
No deflection.
Yeah, no, but Sterling's tried that a few times. Sterling's tried that, I think, twice this season thus far.
But that looked like some Dimitri Payet kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, there's no deflection on that. I'm just watching it now.
That's a mental. What are you saying, Souls, with the whole Sterling performance? Got another 2 goals. Is that his first 2 goals? He registered for Chelsea as well, or is that his third? I think that's his third, isn't it?
Oh yeah, he scored against. Oh shit! I'm sure he scored in that last game.
Yeah, did he not? Against who did he play last game again?
Everton. I'm sure he scored against Everton.
Pretty certain that was his first Premier League goal.
No, that was his first Premier League goal today, wasn't it?
Yeah, first and second Premier League goal.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't get to watch the Chelsea game, but
no,
I need to speak on the goal again.
I'm waiting for it to come on. I'm waiting for it to come on match of the day.
It went up and down extremely quick, didn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It took that deflection. You know what? When I was at the City game last, a ball went out for play, and it was like, you know, when 2 players go in and both strike the ball at the same time, so it goes up in the air and it's nowhere near you, but you know when it lands, that's getting a bounce somewhere and it's spinning, and it span towards my daughter's face. I had to jump in the way. That was similar. It went up and down way too quick for me, and I was like, but there's no deflection. I don't know.
You back now? Are you back now, Ladimus?
Something like, is that still happening? I don't know. Something wrong with my laptop. I don't know. But
Gremlins, Chelsea Gremlins. You spoke on Mount. They don't like it.
Yeah, no, it's whatever. But no, the Sterling thing. Yeah, no, that wasn't a deflection. I think he meant it because he's tried it like twice before this season as well. That is his first 2 goals for us, which is great. Happy about.
But what about the performance in total? I didn't watch it. No, I didn't watch it. I don't think Souls watched it. Did you watch it, Jay?
No, I haven't seen it. I only saw the
goal. No one's watched it. What's the
I'm happy about the second half when Gallagher being sent off and Mount being hooked. He played a lot better with 10 men than he did with both of those players on. So maybe that's a sign. And Tuchel doesn't play Mount the next game, and let's see how that goes. But I think we played well considering we're up against Leicester, and I was a bit worried going into that game. I thought they would try and take advantage, considering the fact that not in the best of form and we're a bit on the ropes, and they didn't. Even though they've been in poor form themselves, but they've got players that could try and hurt us, and especially when they went 2-1 from a goal that is so sloppy, and we should have been able to defend better. But Mendy, that's a different conversation. I thought they would have tried to capitalize and get back into the game, and they didn't, and we hung on. So For me personally, I'm just taking it a game at a time. We got Southampton and St. Mary's on Tuesday, and we get a win from that. And let's just slowly keep building up a bit of form and momentum.
Are you quite confident going into the St. Mary's game though? Like as a Chelsea fan, do you reckon you get the win over the line after that shock?
Yeah.
Like away form might be a thing. I don't know if a Leeds one was just a blip, but I reckon Southampton could be just as good.
No, Southampton. We should be able to go over the line and beat them. We've got a pretty good record up against them, especially last year.
You know what it is? It's because you don't have a striker. It kind of worries me. Their back two are quite pacey and everything, and a false nine ain't going to take them out of position. You need to press them as far back as possible, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Well, there's a bit of talk. Maybe Broha might play. At least that's what Chelsea fans want. So maybe he might get a look in. Particularly fact of we've got games now coming up thick and fast. We've got a Champions League game, not this Tuesday, the Tuesday following as well. Like everything's coming in.
Probably after that, innit?
Yeah. So he eventually, City. Oh,
Champions
League. But eventually, Broha has to play somewhere. So like he might play the Southampton game and just see how that one goes.
What are your midfield options now?
Kovacic is back. Kovacic is back.
You missed him bad, didn't you?
Yeah. They did last season.
I think. I still don't know.
Jorginho,
Kovacic, Ruben, Kante still out injured.
Sorry, are you still considering Ruben as a squad player, or are you just cutting your losses on him?
Because it does look a bit media, can't lie.
Am I considering Ruben as a squad player or as Tuchel? Because he's here.
Or are you seeing him as a right back now?
I don't consider Ruben as a player, but he's still here. Like he's still here, still in the squad.
That's all I wanted to hear.
Do you think Conor Gallagher will be there after transfer deadline though?
Oh, probably. I hope not. I hope he's included because we're linked with Anthony Gordon, and there are soft links to Zaha. If we're in for any one of them, and it's a serious thing, include Gallagher in the deal because he needs to go.
You just don't seem to. He seems a bit slow. What I've seen of him in your midfield, he looks too slow in that midfield. Like the tackles today, he was too late to them.
He's just not. He's just not intelligent. Like he's quick and he runs around a lot and everything. But that's not even like a joke. He's not intelligent.
How old is he?
23.
Oh, it was a deflection. It was a deflection, by the way.
It was.
22 years old.
22
years old. He's 22 years old, but he's a big man.
He's not as young as I thought. I think we spoke on this earlier, right? Now, one thing I'm going to say is the same way we said about Palace, he suited Palace, right? Mm-hmm. I want to hear that same energy when people talk on Eze and
Elise.
Who's the other one? The name that sounds the same as Eze.
Elise.
Thank you. I want people to have that same energy with them, though, because everyone's rating them. Let's remember at Palace, right? So,
but do you know what the difference is between those two, though? I hear what you mean, and I said the same thing with Elise last season. But I looked into him and I like him. You know the difference between with those two? Elise and Eze, they've got technique, they've got quality, and they've got a brain. Gallagher is just. I don't know how to. You know the stereotype people have of like an English player, an English midfielder. Well, that stereotype runs around a lot, passion, yada yada yada. That's what Gallagher is essentially.
Okay,
like, he's just not good. I don't mind. He can go Palace or anything, and he can shine over there. But at the top level, is where we're trying to get to. We're not even at the top level, and he's still struggling. Like I think
he's one to watch this week. He's one to watch. I could see him, whether it be Newcastle, whether it be, I don't know, another Premier League team. I can see him moving. One thing and
Ruben Neves.
He won't go.
And Ruben Neves.
Tuchel rates him. I don't think Tuchel will let him go. I want him to, but I don't think Tuchel will let him go. Tuchel rates him.
I don't know. After today, maybe you might think. But one last question before we move on. Sorry, Cass. I wanted to ask. Because I think it's a big talking point for you guys at the moment is Havertz. How was he today?
I mean, I guess kind of better.
Good assist?
I guess kind of better, but still the same. Like, if not for the fact he scored in the Champions League final, people would be saying he's a bigger flop than Werner.
All right, so one more question to follow on. Would you want rid of Havertz, or do you want Havertz to be just played in a different position?
We've tried him in every position imaginable, and he hasn't done anything. So
you want rid?
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
Do you reckon there's a possibility that some young European players, these young players around Europe playing different leagues, are just sometimes a little over hyped and overblown, and the same thing can be said about Kai Havertz?
Nah, the misprofile. In my opinion, I think Chelsea have completely misprofiled him as a player. Even with Timo Werner, they thought he was this striker who scores loads of goals. But when you look at it, his average chances per game and his conversion of 4-1. So he has to have 4 chances before he converts 1. So the problem is, if you don't have the volume of chances for Werner, you're not going to get the Werner you see at Leipzig. Yeah. And it's for me, it's similar to Havertz. Havertz's best performances came as either a second striker or as a number 10. Unfortunately, Chelsea don't play that system. So they can't get the best out of Havertz. So in essence, Prime's answer is correct. Like, they kind of need to get rid of him, or Tuchel needs to make him the man they build a system around. And if that's the case, then we
are building or trying to build a system.
This 3-back, 5-back isn't a Havertz system.
No, but it is, because this is the system he played in. This is the formation he played in at Leipzig.
Not at Leipzig.
We're building. We played him in every
Leverkusen.
position that he's apparently great at.
Leverkusen played 4-4-2.
Or not Leipzig. No, it wasn't 4-4-2.
It was. They played as 2 striker formations. Or they played him as a 10.
He played as either as part of a front 3 or a front 2. But it was like a 3-4-3 or 3-5-2 or whatever.
Do you know what I struggle with this though? I think Gunnar, that's really I've been calling you Gunnar all day instead of Souls. So I'll call you Souls. It is what it is. Call me dickhead if you want. But do it. But I think it's a really good point. But sometimes don't you feel like you expect that when scouting players, teams have done certain things? It's like maybe they haven't. Like for example, with Núñez, I honestly believe that Klopp would not have gone and got that money without justifying him, because Klopp generally gets signings right and his team gets signings right. So they've gone deep. But I mean, even when I'm pulling stats together on players, like on whatever the app is, there's many apps. I'm not going to list the one I use, but you have the choice of per game or per minutes or overall. And it's like, for me, per minute's relevant, because it is. You've got to look at all these things. And sometimes, do people actually just look at how many goals someone scored and just take that and go, yep, he's a goal scorer, and just not look at, like, I'm still struggling with the whole Chelsea thing. I'm not going to lie. I mean, today I was proven wrong with Sterling because he scored 2. But do a little bit of research. I'm not good at research, but I've done a little bit of research. It's very clear with Sterling. Get the best out of Sterling if you play him alongside a striker. Like, it's undeniable. Double 100% more return when he's played alongside a striker.
You're right, but that's what our scouts have been like for the past 8 years now. Like they because last summer we needed a striker. They were looking at profiles like Haaland and Lukaku who wouldn't suit us, because we're not a team that creates an abundance of chances for them to score, and we weren't willing to adapt. That's why, by the way, I didn't want Haaland, because I knew we wouldn't adapt to him and we wouldn't give him chances to score.
Go and look for footage. I guarantee you he wanted Haaland.
No, I actually didn't. I swear to God, I didn't. Because of that very reason. I knew he wouldn't. It would be pointless because we don't create chance. Like, it was the same thing with Lukaku, and yes, he's at a much lower level to Haaland, but the same sort of concept. We don't create those sort of chances for him to score goals, and we weren't willing to adapt. Like, it's so very frustrating. We spend money on a midfielder like Bakayoko and Drinkwater because we need a midfielder. We spend money on Zappacosta because we need a fullback. We spent 250 in a window on Havertz, Werner, and Ziyech because we needed 4. It's so annoying. I don't like, and that's why when we did streams when we bought Sterling, we were linked to Sterling. I wasn't that gassed because I know what he has to deal with. Sterling has to play in a team where they're not going to really create chances for him, And how really is he? I know he scored 2 today, but again, realistically, he's not going to be scoring 2 every game. He will just about get 1 every game.
Just one thing on like the whole scouting thing as well. I feel like a lot of teams are still stuck in an old age of scouting where you see the way that Pep does it, for example, because I've been following him since Barcelona, and the way he changed the way people do it is a lot of statistical data gets put into use, and they find profile of players who suit them. And that's why like when we see like City and Pep rarely get it wrong. Or even if you look at Pep at Bayern Munich and his recruitment there, and when he got rid of players at Barcelona in terms of Eto'o and Henry, is simply because they don't have the stats or underlying stats that are going to suit them, or they're not able to adapt. And they look at these things. And one thing that I want to say, even if you look at Arsenal, one of the things that they've started doing, they kind of do an interview without an interview. So they want to look at your mentality, and they actually look at how you come back.
Gunnar, that's what I was about to say. This is something that on Jesus, it's exactly what Manchester City do. They do the numbers thing 100%, but then they go a step further. So with Jesus, for example, they then go and ask for school reports, lower, middle, upper school reports. They want to know a player's mentality. And this is why when you look at Brazilian players that have come to England, and I'm not saying all, I don't want to stereotype, but it's kind of hit and miss. You'd probably say Argentinians hit the ground better than Brazilians in this country. But with Jesus, at the age he came to this league, at the fact that he has then had to hold bench a lot and be second fiddle to Aguero, must be hard for a Brazilian. Let's be honest. Brazilian Argentinian beef is very real, right? And he's never moaned, ever. It's because City also go and look at the mentality of players. I do believe Liverpool will probably do the same. And I have no doubt that with what Arteta is doing at Arsenal, that Arsenal will now be doing the same. It's the mentality of players. If players want more money, if Cucurella, I can guarantee you, City pulled out of that because the minute money was involved, they didn't want to know. Because it's like the same as the Sanchez thing. If you've been telling Pep you want to join City for 6 to 9 months to win trophies, and then United offer you more money and your head's turned, your mentality is not correct. And I think it's very valid. They
also now look at how you respond to going down or making a mistake as well. Like I remember like when Ben White when he joined Arsenal, and he sat down with Edu and Arteta, but White's thing was he was so surprised by the level of detail they had gone into. And like they found like every mistake he committed and how he responded. And that's why they were willing to pay the 50 million for him. And I think, I don't know Chelsea's scouting network. I don't know how they do it or what's involved in it. But what you're starting to see is scouts no longer travel as much as they used to, because they no longer need to do that. So I think maybe they're just in an old school way of scouting still. I don't know enough about them, but it seems that way.
We don't have a scouting network, not a proper one. Like again, that's why I'm a big advocate for getting a director of football, because I just think the whole way we run things needs an overhaul. Like I want Michael Edwards, and hopefully if we can get him next summer, because he doesn't want to go into any sort of project right now. We can bring him in. I'll be a lot more comfortable in terms of when we're linked with certain players that I may not particularly like. I'll be more than willing to give it a chance, because it's someone who at least I can say that I trust to come in, or at least the owner to come in, because this whole thing of Bowley going around and doing deals and stuff, like it was funny the first week or so, but now it's just kind of ridiculous. I also don't want Tuchel dealing with transfers, because realistically, you should be dealing with coaching these players, not trying to negotiate deals or whatever. So, Chelsea are in a bit of a mess or whatever, but we don't need to ramble on about that. Let's go on to something else, please.
Right. Sorry, Cass has had to jump off. So, I was just going to say on that one, I think that is a signing. The one you just spoke about, Ladimus, the what's his name? Ex-Liverpool.
Michael Edwards.
I think that could be one of the biggest signings that somebody makes before next summer. United have been linked with him, I know. And I was kind of saying, look, Why United are being linked with him through a transfer window, I do not know. They should have got him in January or February if they wanted him, because he's the type of person that could make a massive, massive difference.
Yeah.
But you can't be bringing him in July. You have to bring him in way, way, way before. But I think that could be one of the biggest signings. If you look at Arsenal with who was the ex-Arsenal guy before Wenger, not manager, that was alongside Wenger.
Oh, Ivan Gazidis.
No, before him.
Before him?
No. David
Gill.
Oh, David Dean.
David Dean. And then at Man United, it was those two. People always talk about Wenger and Ferguson. They never talk about the people beside them.
You need the man underneath them, yeah.
They were the two. And it's very similar at City. Look, Pep does an amazing job, but Pep gets all this credit for recruitment and whatever else. It's not Pep. It isn't.
No,
it's
a
team. It's a team that are around him that do it. So, right. Do you want to put the super chat up one more time? So it's from Jamie Gordon. Hold tight, Jamie, regular watcher. There we go. Yeah, he's just. I think this is at you, Ladimus. It's the actually it could have been. Yeah, no, it's not at you, Sols. It's at you, Ladimus. I think so. It's that London
Chelsea
vibe.
man is shameless. No, why? What did I say that was shameless?
I think they just think you're shameless, probably.
I don't know.
All right, cool. I mean,
I don't think you said anything wrong to me.
You know what? It's fine, bro. I get it all the time. I have Liverpool fans sometimes follow me saying, "Don't talk on Liverpool. Don't talk on Liverpool." I'm like,
why?
Chelsea won't win the trophy. I don't think you can guarantee Chelsea won't win a trophy, but whatever.
I think Chelsea are a cup team. So
I think Chelsea can win. I've said this last year. I'll say it again. I would not rule like Liverpool, even if Liverpool had a dog shit season. I would never rule Liverpool out from winning the Champions League. And the same with Chelsea now, to be honest with you. It's one of those things where they are both. I mean, Liverpool are more than a cup team, but Chelsea at the moment are a cup team. I would not have. Look, out of the three of us and Chelsea were very close to beating Real Madrid. Let's be 100. They were very close to beating Real Madrid. So, but anyway, the last game we need to talk on is my team. Any of you caught it?
Yeah, I watched it.
That's the one I was watching.
Oh, I had that game and my game on at the same time. Man.
I'm not going to lie. It was...
there were some things...
I'm not going to say it was like the last game of the season, because it wasn't the last game of the season. It was the fourth game of the season. And I wasn't at the game. However, 2-0 down, the first half performance, 74% possession, not one shot on goal. As well as that, little worries in my head. You know, as a football fan, you look at it and you think, right, against Newcastle, we were 1-0 up. Stones came on for Ake, and we conceded 3 goals. Today, we conceded two goals with the Diaz and Stones partnership, which for me, 2 seasons ago, was one of the best partnerships we've seen for a long, long time in Premier League football. It was even more so, Sols, this morning when we got told about that stat, 54 games at home, City have only lost 2, both of them against Crystal Palace.
It's mad, isn't it?
And then we go 2-0 down, and I'm thinking, oh. And I'm looking at the team thinking, this is the exact team I wanted. There's first half performance. I've seen the goals, both from set pieces, which surprises me a little bit because recently we've got a lot better on set pieces. Poor marking, to be frank with you, it was poor marking. That's all I can say. But second half, I mean, I can talk about that because I think it's relevant that as fans we do talk. Like Jamie, you won 9-0 today. You had to face a lot of smoke about Liverpool. So I can talk about the fact we shouldn't be going 2-0 down at home to Crystal Palace. However, it's the bounce back. I said this morning, didn't I, Gunnar, that it's not about the losses, it's about the bounce back. And from 2-0 down, that second half performance, we brought in Haaland for exactly what he did. I said it earlier again. We brought in Haaland for these type of situations. When we're struggling to score 3 goals. And have any of you seen the goals from him yet?
Yeah. Should have been on the pitch is another matter. But
why?
For the kick in the head.
I didn't see that.
That's not a red though. It wasn't a red.
I didn't see this. I
Steady
didn't see this
off all day.
genuinely.
No,
And the third goal. I mean, Paddy should have been 3-0 up. Let's face it. Paddy should have been 3-0 up. I mean, the mistake by Edison and they claiming it was a foul is ridiculous. I mean, that was a third goal. I mean, that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. That should have been 3-0. That should have been 3-0, and it would have been a far different game. But at the end of the day, you got to respect the team that comes back and wins 4-2, no matter what happened before. So,
what do you think on the disallowed one, the one on Edison, Guna?
I can't really remember it, to be honest.
He just rolls it out and someone kicks it in the net and they give a foul.
I mean, I was watching the game.
I mean, I disagree, but
it's exactly the same. It was exactly the same as Karius did it in the Champions League final when he threw it on Thingy's foot. Exactly the same. No different. It's not.
We're always going to see it differently. I'm going to see it. I'm trying to take my tints away, but my tints aren't going. So, but look, on Haaland, because we have to speak on it. I will be 100. I'm one of these people that will worry that, you know what, he's got such a spotlight on him. But again, today, he did exactly what we want him to do. The header, that's something we've kind of missed for a while. The second, the tap in, again, just being there, right place, right time, that we've maybe haven't had for apart from last season. But the third goal for me was just the one that is so refreshing to see as a City fan. Beautiful. It was just, when he got the ball, he wasn't clear of the two defenders. They were right by him. But it was like, neither of you were getting close to him. That's where you see, when people say he's a real athlete, that's what you see. He had no right to score that for me. He had two players on top of him. He wasn't clear of defenders. And it was just, that is what 6 goals, 4 games. Soups just said to me, will he score 30 goals? League or all comps?
Well, he's got to go after Salah's record of 32, ain't it, in the Premier League?
All comps. What do you lot think? How many?
I think he goes very close to breaking Mo's record.
No, he's breaking the record.
Yeah, I think he goes.
The ball game. I think he will break the record. In my opinion,
it depends if he stays fit.
Oh, I don't think that's a problem. In my opinion, I think City have got enough there to rotate him and manage his sort of injury problems or woes that
he got
has.
Hatrick, he got pulled.
Yeah, I think he's fine. Like Alvarez looks like a baller that you can trust if Haaland needs to be rested or on the bench and only play 20 minutes. But fucking hell, this guy, like I said to you, Dad, man, this guy is not human. Like he's the next, you know when we say like Messi, Ronaldo are not humans, he's the next version of that. He's unbelievable.
He's played 5 games so far. Do you know roughly when he's been hooked off, Daps?
What pulled
Today
off?
was about 70 minutes.
Yeah. Haaland. How long has he come?
It's been a bit hard because if you look at his 4 games, the one in Barcelona didn't come on till pretty.
No, the Community Shield as well. That's fine.
Oh, Community Shield.
About 60 minutes, 70 minutes, I'd say overall.
Yeah, but on average, it probably is about 60, 70 minutes.
All right, cool. Well, 60, 70 minutes. I mean, like, it's not like he's not at Dortmund anymore. With City, the vast majority of games, you guys will get it wrapped up in 60, 70 minutes. That gives enough time for him to come off and rest.
Yeah.
He's not going to be playing, I know you face us in the next round of the Carabao Cup, but realistically, he's not going to be playing those sort of competitions up until the quarterfinals when you're facing the bigger sides. Like, it's going to be fine, man. And plus, he's not going to the World Cup, right?
No, it's not. It's not.
What
do you expect him to score 15? I mean, he's on 6 already.
Yeah, he's got.
This thing with injuries, like, this is City. There are going to be games he doesn't have to play that Pep doesn't have to play. Like, it's not like at Dortmund where they've got no other striker. He has to play every game. He has to be rushed back. He's going to be fine, man. Whether or not he breaks Salah's record, I don't know, but he's going to win the Golden Boot. I have him, Kane, sharing it this season. So unless Kane also breaks Salah's record as well, man, it's going to be.
There's going to be a lot up there, to be honest with you. The whole record thing, I'll be completely 100 with you. And it was very refreshing. I like watching his interviews because his interviews tell me a lot about him. one of my worries was that, you know, are we going to sign a player like when we play Liverpool, for example? Interested. We usually play the false nine against Liverpool and against a few other teams where we need to dominate midfield. And I'm thinking, okay, what will happen in those games? Now, there are alternatives. Like you could drop Mahrez and you could play someone like Bernardo Silva, which then kind of gives you that control in midfield again. If you're not playing more of a winger, you're playing more of a Bernardo Silva that can drop in and play in a kind of 4-4-2. That could work more, where you're playing again. If the guy alongside Haaland is Foden, he can drop back in, and then all of a sudden it's a 4-5-1. So there are other options, but it was kind of, I wanted to see, is his ego bigger than Pep's? And I've already seen it isn't. Every time he gets asked about Pep, he almost doesn't want to talk on it but his also mentality already seems right when he gets asked about goals. And however much he wants to score a lot of goals, he's also saying things like, but it's not about who's scoring the goals, it's about the team winning. And that is going to be relevant because we have had games this season where he hasn't scored. But his form in the Champions League is one of the things that people will talk about. His form in the Champions League is phenomenal already. Look, the guy is someone that is pushing himself. It's not other people pushing him. He's pushing himself. He's striving. When he scored 2 in his first game, after the game, he said, but I didn't score 1 in the last half hour, so I need to score 1 next game. He's pushing himself constantly. Now
you can tell he comes from an athlete family because that's something you're raised to believe and like raise your own levels. And when you come from a competitive or an athletic background, that's what happens. I've had families or friends who's like, you know, brothers or whatever go into boxing, go into like other like tennis and stuff like that. They're constantly, you can tell that they've got a drive about them that no one else has. And it doesn't matter what your family, they can be successful in business, but there's a difference in sporting athletes, especially at the elite level. And their mentalities are completely off the scales. And I can see that. And I'm going, do you know what? He can tell me his mum's won the gold in the Olympics and all of this, and I'll just believe it because I'll be that mentality is bred. It's not something you can just teach yourself.
Nah.
And you know what also helps with that factor as well? The fact that you're playing for a club that you love. Him growing up supporting City, his dad played for City. That's another added, another level that he probably didn't even need because he's just that driven anyways. But it's just another added factor that every goal he scores actually means something to him.
It's also relevant
that he's just playing for a random club.
I can tell you now, the fan base love him, absolutely love him because it's like, and again, Gomez. There's pictures of Gomez, the left back we've just bought in City shirts as a kid. These things help fan bases love a player, and you know the love that City fans have for Haaland. We do not. I love Alvarez already because again, we've got this love for Argentinian players. It's relevant when you've got these players that come in that. Their history is that they love your club. You believe them and you're like, I want to get behind you. I want you to succeed. We want Haaland to succeed so badly. So every time he scores, but it's more about his mentality. His mentality seems very strong. Now, the funniest thing he said in the interview, and I'm intrigued to see how the club see it, is in the interview with Man City's channel, he got asked about other players on the team and how, you know, how there's a lot of good players today, but which one stood out to you? To us, it was Phil Foden. Phil Foden seemed really good today. Haaland's response was, yeah, at last he learned to pass to me. And I was thinking, well, because I don't know if you know, but the last couple of games, Haaland...
Yeah, he held on to it too long, yeah.
So I was thinking, but he said it and he didn't laugh. It was actually a bit like...
He meant it, yeah.
He meant it. Yeah, listen, this is what I'm here for. This is now what you're here for. Put it on a plate for me. I'll eat it up. But...
Look, I don't think he'll be that deep personally. I think that you can tell is a proper footballing dressing room. That's what they do.
Yeah. I mean, but let's be real. It was squeaky mum time today. Let's not lie about it. 2-0 down at half time against Crystal Palace. It was very similar to 2-0 down against Villa.
This is fucking impressive. Like this, I'm gonna give like City a lot of ratings here because this is 2 games on the bounce where they've had to come back they've done it with ease. Not even like, oh, they struggled to come back and they just about got it done. Nah, they got it done. And I'm like, that's the most impressive thing because like Newcastle were up. And you know when teams are up for it, pressing you, making it hard for you. and you come back against those teams, that's impressive. When you come back against a team that scores and then just kind of gives up because they're like, oh shit, we need to hold on to it. But like Crystal Palace and Newcastle weren't holding on to it. They were trying to like end the game, and they're the hardest ones to win. So especially when you look at the mentality aspect of the only 2 losses that have come for 3 o'clock have come against this team, that's another mental barrier. You haven't scored against them, and it looks like you're 2-0 down, and you haven't scored against this team in the last season. Like, how do you come back in this? And the way you did it, I just think you can't write this. This is the fucking annoying thing. You've lost a few players, but you can't write this team off, and that's annoying.
No. Listen, when I said this at the back end I said this after the last game of last season, that win against Aston Villa from 2 goals down, it meant so much to this football club because, yes, we did it against Queen's Park Rangers, but when we did it against Queen's Park Rangers, it was a completely different squad of players, right? So when we did it against Villa, it was refreshing because it was like, right, now this is not those players. This is now this football club has this mentality that's being passed on in the dressing room. Look, I honestly believe, I'm very superstitious, when we did it against Queen's Park Rangers, when we came from behind in the 93rd minute and won a league and took it from the hands of who?
Well, United.
Sir Alex Ferguson, Mr. Injury Time himself. I've always thought that's relevant. We've basically said to the team that have gone through for 20, 25 years, winning games and leagues in the last minutes of games, the fact that we did it to that team is relevant because now we've got that in our DNA in the league. We now need to carry that over into the Champions League, by the way. But
you're a bit sorry. I was just about to say that. So you're a bit concerned, though, that you conceded 5 goals in 2 games.
Yes.
Does that concern you a little bit?
Yes.
Because teams don't. I've always said it as a Liverpool fan, because the irritating thing I always say as a Liverpool fan, and other team fans might say it as well, that not enough teams dare to have a go at City sometimes.
Yeah.
And I understand why, because they don't want to take a good hiding. But Newcastle were like, no, we'll go have a go. Palace, we'll go have a go. Are you just a little bit worried that there might be need a bit of tightening up at the back there? Because 5 goals in 2 games is a lot, isn't it?
I think it's relevant. I think the way that we're trying to play at the moment, Ake is very important. We've got Walker's pace on the right. Cancelo's not the paciest, whereas Ake's got some pace about him. So I think Ake as a left centre back actually makes a lot of sense. But I'm also a strong believer that your centre backs, your defence should be consistent. And yeah, Stones and Diaz season before last were amazing. Last season they were good when they played together. So far they've conceded 5 goals in pretty much 2 halves of football. So it does concern me 100%. And I'll tell you now, I'll tell you who it will concern more than me, more than any other Manchester City fan. That's Pep Guardiola. He will have noticed that. He likes clean sheets because that's total domination. So it's something we look at. Look, I'm going to wrap it up now, but I think the one thing that all of us know now is we're now going into a point where it's going to be for pretty much the next 3 months. We're all going to be playing every 3-4 days now. It's going to be relentless, and we've had this little ease in of a couple of games, but now we all just have to build on. This weekend has been good for the top 5. Let's hope Tottenham drop points tomorrow, but can't see it. But now we all have to just build on this, and we have to get that momentum going, especially for my club. That's all I care about. I hope Liverpool don't bounce back. I hope that was a one-off. I hope Salah stays shit and stays in Turks and Caicos.
Can I just say, City are winning the Champions League this season, by the way.
I do. I think you've recruited right to win
the Champions League. I think. Yeah.
No, I've never when other people have said it in the past, I've always disagreed. This is the first time I can actually say you're going to win it. You've gone through the whole thing of hurt and whatever. You've gone through all that experience. I think there's no reason why you guys can't actually win it this season.
I'll tell you from a tactical point why I think you can win it. Because if you think about the Phillips signing that you bought in, I feel that that's a statement by Pep to say, look, we're going to become solidified in the midfield when we play in these Champions League games. We're going to have Rodri and Phillips as a double pivot to solidify that midfield, and then have you're going to play different, I think, in the Champions League to what you play in the league, and that's going to only benefit you guys, because I think that one of the biggest reasons why you not flopped it, but why you couldn't get through Real Madrid was because you lost midfield control, and Kroos and Modric turned it up. But if he has the option to have Rodri and Phillips, who both, Phillips can progress the ball, and Rodri can just be that solidified DM, but also Phillips can be very good defensively. That's going to help you if you're in those situations where you just need to see games out. Whereas if you've not had that, you've had too many attack-minded midfielders to bring on. Whereas and also Fernandinho, no dig at him, but he's a bit old. So it's very difficult to know how consistent he can be.
Listen, I'm not being drawn into this conversation. It's a conversation.
No, bro. I know you're not trying to do it on purpose.
I'm not saying you're trying to draw me in, but it's way too early in the season for me to get involved in these Champions League conversations.
No, it's not. I get why City fans don't like having this conversation, and it's kind of a thing. But I don't know. You've been at your best before, and it's been a thing of where you probably should have and you haven't. And it kind of was the same with Chelsea. In that first period with Roman, when we were so great and we probably should have won the Champions League, but we didn't come up against Barca and Liverpool and stuff, and even the final against Man United. You've been through that now, and you're now at a stage where I think you guys can win it. I honestly think you will. You're my favorites. Madrid were my favorites last season when I put
Man
them
City are favourites. Man City are favourites. That comment by Bailey 19 there, by the way, is correct. By the way,
what is it?
I've been telling everyone on my channel about Liverpool that Ruben Neves will be the midfield we buy from Wolves.
We'll see. Listen,
you'll put your hat in for De Jong.
No, they have. Fabrizio Romano just said we're not in negotiations.
Barca probably started that rumor, to be fair. But listen, guys, thank you all for coming on. Firstly, Jamie, really appreciate it. And
thank you very much.
I'm going to say a little prayer for your daughter tonight.
Thank you very much.
But where can everyone find you?
So yeah, you find me on Jamie Phillips Football Chats is my YouTube channel, and you can find me at Twitter as well at Jamie LFC39.
And by the way, everyone's links for their channels and their socials are in the description. Gunnar Souls will be in there later. We just need to change over because there's a last minute jump in. So Gunnar, where can everyone find you, please, bro?
Yeah, literally Gunnar Souls on all platforms. And tomorrow, 11 o'clock or 11:30, we've got the Arsenal show. So get the plug in early.
Right now.
So, yeah.
And Ladimus, where can everyone find you, bro?
You can follow me at Ladimus Prime on all social platforms, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, etc. I post a lot of clips and videos and stuff like that. So check me out over there. And I'm also on channels like Here, Never a Foul. I'm on Big Six Bants a lot. I'll probably be on there tomorrow or Monday when they do the wrap up. I'm on the Terrace. So yeah, follow me on socials to find out anything that I'm doing. Guys, make sure you like and subscribe and you share over there.
Yeah, love. And finally from us, anyone that's in here, appreciate everyone in here, the mods, I love you. All our subs, everyone watching this. On the way out, if you haven't already, please smash a like. We will be back tomorrow at 11 or 11:30. Not quite sure which one yet. Souls, which one is it? You probably know better than me.
I was going to ask you after the show.
Yeah, so it's 11 or 11:30 on Never a Foul for the Arsenal show with Gunnar Souls, Lee Gunnar, wholly other Arsenal man. And then this week we have the transfer window, which is going to be beautiful. There's going to be a lot going on. I think this could be one of the best 4 days of transfers that we've seen for quite some time because, and it will probably let us down now, but I'm going to say it's going to be a good one. But people, thanks for watching. This is Never a Foul. This is a panel. Subscribe in the description and we'll see you tomorrow.